What's up, Fight Fam? And welcome to the Boxing Bros Podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Caden. This is episode 5. And I just want to say you can check us out on YouTube if you want to see some of our video segments when we get in. But you're here at the podcast. It's a good place to be. I'll let my co-hosts introduce themselves.
Yeah. This is Trill.
And it's G.
Yeah, man. Bros. And this is the yearly wrap-up episode, okay? We're going to keep Trill under control. You know what I'm saying? And we got G here. You know, G, it's rumored that G believes that Gamboa beat himself last night.
Hold on. You know what's funny? I swear to goodness, I was like, I knew he was going to say that.
G believes that Gamboa beat himself last night.
Gamboa didn't beat himself. His Payless boxing shoes.
All right, so on a yearly wrap-up episode, what we're going to do is we are going to give out our awards. But for those of you who don't check us out on YouTube or haven't checked us out on YouTube yet, what we're going to do is summarize what we already went over. So, Trill, what was your reaction to the Gamboa, Keith Gamboa, and Gervonta Tank Davis fight?
The fight was cool.
It was cute.
Fight was cool. I didn't answer. I thought that this was gonna. If y'all don't remember, right, we all thought that this was gonna answer all our questions. That's what we was looking at on this fight. I think we all agreed in our predictions that and one thing that we all said is that this was gonna answer questions for us about Tank. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Is he the star? You know what I'm saying? Is he the star? Is he the man? This was going to answer all the questions for us, and I still got some questions that need to be answered. This didn't answer the questions for me. I'm sorry. It was a good fight. He got him out of there. He was supposed to get It was just horrible. I want to see him in there again so he can answer some questions for me against a good fighter. And I was thinking maybe a Richard Cooley. Since they at 35, and this is a guy, Richard Cooley, is going to give him a tough fight. Fighting against Richard Cooley, that would be a test for me, like to see him in there with a guy like that. Because against Gamboa, this didn't show me nothing. Against this Gamboa, didn't show me nothing.
G.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to judge him too harshly, right? Because I kind of feel like Tank didn't take the fight as serious, you know.
That's why you should judge him harshly.
Which is true. But he's probably thinking, man, this is Gamboa. I'm about to knock this dude out, you know. So let me party a couple more times with my man Casanova, and you know what I'm saying, and what's it called, baby, little baby.
You know what
I'm saying? So you know he's probably living a life in Atlanta, you know. So he didn't take it as serious, and then I think he realized, I really can't take this guy out. So then once he realized, oh snap, let me conserve some energy because just in case I gotta take it all the way to 12 rounds, I don't want to look horrible. And I think that was the strategy that he implemented, and it worked out. Now his opposition though out there gonna be like, yo, dude, you're food. You know what I mean? And so it is dangerous. However, I'm not gonna say because I feel like a lot of fighters would do the same mistake that he did. Where it's like, that's Gamboa. I'm about to watch this guy. So that's why I'm like, you underestimated a guy of his caliber, you know. But he was thinking the age. He's been knocked out a couple of times. I got the power. I'm definitely going to take him out. And it just blew up in his face. So, Tank, you messed up. But, you know, I understand why you messed up.
Brand new whip, got no key. Please. Yellow Ferrari, won't even Pikachu. Yellow Ferrari, little Pikachu. Look, man, this is, to me, they were talking about putting Tank on pay-per-view for his next fight. That's a joke. I wouldn't pay for that. If I had to pay, $10 to watch Tank fight, or for Lil Baby's album, I'm buying Lil Baby's album. Look, this is what I'm gonna say, man. This was supposed to be a showcase. This was supposed to be a Tank going in there and getting an impressive knockout over a man with a suspect chin. Instead,
and a great name.
Yep. Instead, what we saw was this man with a suspect chin come in with some Payless shoes He said he ruptured his Achilles and whatever. One thing I can say is his movement did stop. Mm-hmm. He did stay in the pocket, and he did take some hellacious shots and kept standing up. I saw TC stop him. I saw people eventually drop. A lot of people drop Gamboa. Dropping Gamboa was not a thing. You know, like a lot of people drop Gamboa. Even in fights that he's won,
you don't get credit. You don't get no street cred for
that.
Juan Lopez dropped Gamboa.
Yo, for real, Gamboa gets dropped. But this is not what Mayweather had in mind when he made this fight. This is not what Leonard Ellaby had in mind. This man went 12 rounds. A shot Gamboa went 12 rounds on a bad foot and some cheap shoes. And, he took some of Gervonta Tank Davis' best punches. And it was all because this guy wasn't in shape enough to throw enough punches to take him out earlier. Okay? And I wasn't impressed with him at all. To me, he showed the difference between him and Vasily Lomachenko. He showed the difference between him and Ryan Garcia. The difference between him and Devin Haney. The difference between him and Teofimo Lopez. And the difference isn't a good one. The difference is they're dedicated and he's not. The difference is they want to be great and he wants to be
get a
great party goer. He wants to be flashy.
He wants to be a rapper.
Yes.
Bingo.
He wants to be a rapper.
He wants to be, a great whatever. He wants to be a great Instagram personality.
Exactly.
But does he want to be a great champion? Those are the question marks I left with.
And one thing I definitely want to clear. Every time when we mention Ryan Garcia and him calling out Tank and everything, I'd be like, that's cute. I don't want no Ryan Garcia fans to be like, oh, he's hating on Ryan. The reason why I say that's cute is because I know who he's promoted by. He's not promoted by no dummies. He's promoted by guys who are gonna. I don't see Ryan in with a name that we recognize for a while. You know what I'm saying? For at least 10 more fights. And that's just because I know his people that he work with. Unless he can convince these guys and throw a fit or something for them to do something else. These guys want to sell tickets, and Ryan Garcia sells tickets, and they're good at grabbing this little bit of money before they throw him in there with somebody with a good name. That's why when we always mention Ryan Garcia, I laugh and chuckle. Because I don't see De La Hoya don't have nobody really over there no more. And I doubt that he's going to throw away, other than Canelo, I doubt he's going to throw away Ryan to the Wolves.
I'm not responding to that. Moving on to...
I know you want to see the fight. I just know that these guys is hard. I know you just want to see the guys fight.
All right. So a quick response to those who didn't hear what you said on YouTube about Jean Pascal's victory over Badu Jack, and I'll start one off with Trill.
It was a great fight, but I feel like the wrong guy won the fight. I feel like Badu Jack won the fight, but Pascal he was given the victory, but to me he lost the fight. Good fight though, great fight. Poor Badu Jack, this guy can't catch a break. That's just this what it is. We're gonna have to have a segment called "These Poor Guys," and that's what we should have did on the yearly wrap up. Who's the poorest guy? Poorest fighter, Dillian or Badu Jack? These poor guys.
Dillian may be in a year. Badu Jack's been for years, right?
I know for years.
Decade, Dillian.
Poor guy, poor guy. This is he can't. I don't know, man. I'm done. But
Badu Jack has to just do something. He's like his character or something.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I'm thinking the same thing.
It's his character.
He's so nice. So
it really is. I said it before. It's his character. Is that you got to have a little bit of jerk in you. You have to have a little bit of
humble.
I get it. You're trying to save the babies. I get it. I get it, Badu Jack. You're trying to save the babies, but they ain't respecting that, man. They want you to swear.
One swear.
One swear. You'll get a victory.
Go ahead, G.
Yeah. So
He knocked poor James DeGale's teeth out. It's still,
He knocked out his teeth. He knocked out his teeth.
it's still his teeth went flying across the ring.
The man fought with his forehead split.
Poor Bottom Jack.
That man bottle jack.
Oh man.
yeah, nah, but yeah. So as I said earlier, I watched the fight twice, right? And so my initial watch, I had like a lot of rounds for Jean Pascal just off of sound effects alone, right? But then when I watched it the second time, I was like, yeah, man, you know, Pascal ain't landing none of those punches. It just sounds loud. And so this is where I feel like maybe we're harshly judging the judges. We're judging them too harshly, because I was telling Trill this earlier that Sean Porter said this, and I was like, Sean Porter just revealed like a magician's trick, where Sean Porter was like, yo, it's all about the angles. You just position yourself where the judges can't really see what's going on. As long as you just throwing punches, judges will just assume you're landing. And I think Pascal has implemented the same strategy, where it's like, I don't even care. I'm just going to throw these hard punches, whether they land or not, because one or maybe two out of the three judges are going to think it landed, right? And so I think that's why these judges are giving those rounds to Pascal. Now, is it right? No. You know what I'm saying? But the way they position the judges on ringside, like they're seeing it from all different angles. So if I'm behind Pascal and he just throwing punches, all I hear is effects, I'm thinking Pascal got that round. And so I feel like I still had Pascal up one round, but like I'm not mad at people saying, yo, Pascal lost, because clearly I can see that too. I'm not mad at a draw. I can see that as well. So
And there's something else you said too that I was digging. Better than that point right there. You said something else too that I thought was you said that some of these rounds were close.
Oh yeah, and
they
that's
were
another thing
swing
too.
rounds.
Yeah, so
And
now
usually the
swing rounds,
judges will
just give it to the champ.
give it to the champ.
Yeah, so it's like like the round 11, for example, like we talked about on the video. And I gave it to Pascal
And I
because
gave it to
when you look at
Bobby Jack.
that round, like it was like each man I think only landed like twice. Like that round was like really close, right? So then it's like, well then how do you judge that round?
I gave it to the guy with the cleaner shot.
And I go, because it was so close,
yeah.
I gave it to the champ. You know what I mean? So like to me it's kind of like to beat the champ, you gotta actually beat the champ. So I'm like, if it's close enough, I'm automatically giving it to the champion. But I could see the other argument where it's like, nah, yo, like I felt that punch to the face was more effective than the punch to the stomach. Hey, it's all perspective, right? So me personally, I would give it to the champion versus like, giving it to Badu in that round in particular, because I know that round was pretty controversial.
So basically, my take on it is you score a fight with clean, effective punches. Clean, effective punching means you land a shot cleanly, and it's effective, meaning it hurts your opponent. So if Jean Pascal's throwing punches and wild hooks and they're being picked off by Badu Jack, then there's no way he can land clean. So now you have to question, is the punch effective? And it would be effective if it hurt Badu Jack. The one punch that he definitely landed clean was the one that dropped Badu Jack. In fairness to Jean Pascal, he landed some clean hooks. But the clean, effective punches throughout the fight were being landed by Badu Jack. Even after Pascal flurries that were picked off on the gloves from Badu Jack, Badu Jack would land a straight right hand on Jean Pascal that would hurt him, that would rock him, that would stop him in his tracks, that would make his leg do a little dance. So to me, he landed the clean, effective punches. So if we're going to sit here and say, oh, judges don't know that these punches are being picked off, you don't know what a picked off punch sounds like.
Not those
how many
inexperienced
how many fights do you have to ref in order before you can ref how many fights do you need to judge before you can judge a championship fight?
bro.
Because once you're at that level,
That's a good
you
point.
should know what a picked off punch sounds like.
Exactly.
When every flush shot that I've ever seen someone land didn't sound like the punches Pascal was throwing. The reason why the punches Pascal was throwing sounded so loud was because he was hitting leather. Dummies. But anyways, that's my take on it.
I totally agree with
Badu
you.
Jack won the fight and he didn't get the decision, which is nothing new. And Badu, I think they had to give the fight to Jean Pascal because it was like, if we give this man another draw, he gonna have 5 draws. He gonna have 5 draws. We don't. Badu Jack, pencil him in for a draw.
All the guys wasn't really. They were so hyped to be there because I never seen those other judges before. They were just so hyped to be there. Even the other ref before that, it was like Paulie was saying they haven't had a fight here in 21 years.
Yeah,
They
that's all I'm saying,
they don't know what, they gonna make some mistakes tonight.
I don't know, man.
Yo, but is there a judging criteria like for championship fights? How many, like you have to have a resume of like X amount of
No,
fights?
they really isn't because if you
That's
watch
crazy.
certain ones,
That's
you be
crazy.
like, this person has no
Yeah, so
notable
they pick 'em
fights.
out- they pick 'em out random.
Yeah.
But I just think
That's
it's
not
like,
cool.
And
you know?
I didn't know the other two. Just like when we watch boxing, we've been watching boxing for so long that we know Max DeLuca, we know the Letterman, we know people when you see their names as Moretti. You know judges that you're familiar with. You know what I'm saying? When you start watching championship fights and you don't know the judges, I get really nervous. You know what I'm
You see
saying?
a judge called Ned the Cameraman.
Shout out to Ned the cameraman. He couldn't be with us today, man. But we-
actually, Ned's actually in Atlanta right now.
Shout out to Ned in the ATL right now.
listen, man, Ned could have called that one. And Ned would have been like, a chin doesn't sound like that. I mean, I just think it's ridiculous that like you can hear those shots and you're talking about how much they were thudding. That's evidence that you didn't hit a chin. I've never seen a chin shot and heard thud. And then like the guy.
Matter of fact, actually we have, and the guy was cheating.
I was about to say that's one time. I know
yeah.
exactly
He
what
was
fight
like-
you're talking about.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can tell the people.
Yeah, it was Antonio Margarito against Miguel Cotto, and that was the only time where we heard shots like that, and now we know why. Because Margarito was...
Cast the raps.
Yeah, it was
All right, and so just another thing. I think his name is Lonnie Thompson, but hell, if I get his name wrong, Jimmy
Linnell.
Lennon Jr. Jimmy Lennon Jr. got it wrong as well. Lonnie
Linnell.
Thompson, whatever, the chief sparring partner from the Mayweather boxing gym. He got a big win over Jose Ugatiki, who's actually the man who beat Andre Durrell, and he's also the man who got sucker punched by Andre Durrell and Anthony Durrell's uncle. And I'm telling you right now, it's worth pulling up. That hook was textbook, baby. I'm gonna start showing that hook to the students I train. Like, you see, this is how you turn it over, baby. Like, So that was a big win for him, and I want to give him a shout out because he's known as being a chief sparring partner.
Yeah, the
and giving everyone
Mayweather
work.
Promotions punching bag.
Yeah.
He came out there.
Well, not anymore. He got a victory he can celebrate.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Lennon Jr. learned that man's name. What you did to that man was messed up. On the biggest moment of his life, you said his name wrong. The trainer's like, Thompson. Thompson.
He did in Atlanta.
Because he was brought in there to lose. They didn't
They were like, I know Jimmy wanted to be like, your man's food anyway.
What you want from me?
Jimmy's like, he won. So we just want to show him his love. Also, in other news, Wilder vs. Fury, they announced the fight officially. Tickets are on sale. There were commercials on during the college football playoff, which is very smart promoting. When you think about the number of people who watch the college football playoff, I just want to run through this quickly and just your thoughts on it being official and the promotion.
Oh, and the promotion of what? Wilder not showing up?
Yeah. You can talk about whatever you want, bro.
Listen.
Just the fight's on.
The fight is on, and listen, you know what? And I got your back on this, G.
Appreciate it, brother.
Wilder didn't show up. You know why Wilder didn't show up? Now, if you made me cry the last time, you know what I'm saying? What's the point?
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like
I
I'm not
thought
coming.
Trill really was gonna have.
No, I had to. I thought you were gonna say like he made
Trill
my man
really
cry
hold
the
it
last
down.
time.
I thought Trill gonna hold it
He
down.
made him cry the last time I showed. Listen, Deontay. Hopefully, Deontay Wilder listened to my rant, and I told him to stay away from the games, stay away from all the bull crap, and get back into this gym and get back to the fundamentals. I hope him showing up showed that he's all business and no games. I hope that him showing up was letting him know that, listen, you ain't mind effing me this time. You ain't gonna have me crying at the press conference and my girl holding me this time.
It's okay, baby.
I'm gonna be in the gym learning how to jab, right hand, move, and get out the way. I'm watching AJ's last fight on repeat. You know what I'm saying? Watching old Klitschko fights on repeat. Watching old Lennox Lewis fights on repeat. That's what Deontay Wilder is doing right now. Tyson Fury, he already got the mind games. He's gonna win that. We already know he's gonna win the press conferences and all that. Deontay Wilder has to stay away from social media, stay away from any way that Tyson Fury can get to him. He needed for real. He need to lock himself in the basement at his grandmother's house and nothing, no Wi-Fi, nothing, and work on boxing technique. Oh, jab, 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 right hand, jab, jab, right hand,
Tyson
jab,
Fury show
jab.
to that. You're boom.
Bringing him some pie chicken sandwiches.
Come on here, you big dog.
Come on here. Hey, man, the fight's on, man. February 22nd. I can't wait.
G. I actually agree with Trill on a lot of the questions. But for different reasons. I feel like Wilder's more of an emotional fighter, and so I'm wary if he actually goes to these press conferences and he's getting verbally assaulted by Fury, that's going to affect him on a mental level during the fight. So to prevent that from happening, man, don't do it to yourself, And also in regards to the promotion, that's why I really like the fact that Fox is doing the pay-per-view, because if Fox does even like 50% of what they did promoting the Wilder Ortiz 2 fight, then this fight is going to do great numbers, especially during football season. So, I feel like Fox would be the best platform for Deontay Wilder. So this is going to be a good fight. It's going to be huge.
It's going to do big.
And on top of that, because, Fury is an excellent trash talker, and he knows how to sell a fight. So I think Wilder should do what Trill was saying. Just go to a basement somewhere and just perfect your jab. Utilize other things in your arsenal opposed to just the right hand. Because Fury is talented. And so, I believe Wilder's going to win. Wilder got to just learn to utilize the God-given skills that he has. Like, think about it, he's 7? You know what I'm saying? Like, he has the athleticism. He has a quick jab. He just has to use it, And so don't go in there emotional. Like, who cares if he's calling you a dosser, whatever he be saying. That's cool, whatever.
Wilder definitely would have got an NBA title. He definitely would have got an NBA ring. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about all of that. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it boxing. You know what I mean? Like,
he would have definitely got a ring.
That's my only fear is Wilder getting so emotionally charged about all the stuff that Fury's is going to say in the lead up to the fight, that when he gets into the ring, he's just going to go for the knockout, and then he's going to lose. So Wilder, I respect him, man. Don't even go to these press conferences, yo. Man, it is what it is. Like, remember the first press conference with AJ Ruiz too? Both fighters didn't show up. So, hey, it is what it is, man. If the remaining press conferences, I don't know how many they're going to do, but if Wilder doesn't show up to all of them, then that's kind of like, now you're cheating the fans. But the first one, it is what it is. It's whatever. Even if he misses the second one, I'm cool with that too. But you got to show up to at least 2 of them, especially in markets where your fans, your diehards will be at, you have to show up. So if that means you got to take a couple of dossers and other verbal assaults, it is what it is, Wilder. But I'm not mad at Wilder for missing the first one.
Deontay Wilder, you bum! You big useless dust, skinny little hoop man. You never had a jump shot. You had no handle. But from what I hear from Gerald Big Baby Miller, you're good with rebounds. If you know what I'm saying, you bum. You big useless dust.
Wow, that's why he didn't show up. That right there is why he didn't show up to the press conference.
Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you like this, man.
He was in the car. He was in the parking lot.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Tyson Fury's going to get to him regardless. The fact that he didn't show up just lets Tyson Fury knows that he's in his head. He would have been better off showing up and saying nothing and just sending a message, nothing you say can move me. Show up with earplugs. Show up with headphones on. You know what I mean? Show up and just, but the fact you didn't show up, that's a huge L, tremendous L. Like, Tyson Fury knows he can get in your head. And trust me, you're going to have to face him at some point. I heard Bob Arum say they don't need press conferences because of the way they plan to promote this. They're going to promote it with the college football playoff, which is what they did. He said because Fox is involved and ESPN is involved, they're going to promote it during the Super Bowl. They're going to get time during the Super Bowl to get interviewed, which is great promotion for the fight. So they're saying that they don't really need press conferences. But even if there's no press conference, Fury is going to badger you. You can ignore Fury, but Fury's going to have access to ESPN. He's entertaining. He's going to be all over television. He's going to be all over social media. And let me tell you something, Ja.
Throw away your phone.
That's what I said.
Yep. And let me tell you something, Deontay Wilder. The staying silent thing doesn't always work because it makes you a coward. You start to be perceived as a coward. And when the baddest man on the planet isn't showing up to press conferences, when the baddest man on the planet isn't responding to someone saying so many things about you, people start to realize you're not the baddest man on the planet. You're a fragile little boy afraid to stand up to the bully.
All right, so
You made him cry, bro.
A fragile little boy afraid to stand up to the bully. You know what I'm saying? So even Dillian White's trolling Deontay Wilder on social media. I mean, this is getting bad. For the baddest man on the planet, all these dudes seem to like taking shots at you. Now, we're going to move on to one more topic. One more topic before we get into our yearly awards. And this is going to get juicy, my friends. Cheers are gonna fly, tempers are gonna flare, but I don't care. Okay, this is the way it has to be. So,
bear cans ready.
please, guys, this is just our opinions, Anyways, Terrence Crawford rejects a fight with Sean Porter. He said that the fight doesn't make sense. After Terrence Crawford said this, people caught up with Bob Arum, and he can be found saying that the fight can happen and that he knows Terrence Crawford wants to fight. Apparently, there's something lost in communication between these two. And so I'm going to send this one to G first. What are your thoughts on Terrence Crawford saying the fight doesn't make any sense?
I could have sworn it was like last week's episode when we was talking about, Ducker of the Year. And I was like, I'm going to give my little preview of what I'm considering. Terrence Crawford, you kind of proving my point, man. Like, these are the examples right there. That's like, why wouldn't that fight make sense? Like, although Sean Porter doesn't have a belt currently, he's still one of the top of in the welterweight division. It'll be an excellent fight for you. You need a solidified name, a solid name on your resume. He provides that, and not to mention, you guys are actually friends. It'll be an easy fight to set up. You could do it. The fact that you don't want to do it. And on top of that, your promoter saying yes, but you're saying no, just solidifies, man, you ducking, man. And I don't know what it really is, so I just have to humbly say you a ducker, and I'm not rocking with it, man. So, I actually like Terrence as a fighter, but
we all do.
Yo, man, it's ducking season, man. This is crazy,
Wow, G. I'm shocked. Yo, Trill.
What's up? You thought I was defending?
I can't defend that. It actually makes sense because
I can't defend that. That's crazy.
You found a way to defend me. I'm shocked to the lips you go, bro. If this was wild, G would have.
You see their friendship so strong. Terrence can't even see himself punch him in the face. He don't got a belt. He ain't got a belt. Why do it? Who cares about a resume? Y'all the worst.
Go ahead, Drew.
Continuing from last week. Fanboy Bradley. Pull your skirt down, B. You don't even know what's going on. You're calling people out. The other fighters over there at PBC. Crawford don't want to fight him. The proof is in the pudding. Get your facts right before you go out here jumping off the cliff, Fanboy Bradley. That's all I'm saying, man.
But let's talk about it. Is Terrence Crawford a better switch fighter than Marvelous Marvin Hagler?
Fanboy Bradley, you done lost your mind. Okay, sweetheart, you lost your mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what too many martinis over there at Top Rank. They giving you too many drinks. That's what's happening. That's what they do. They was like, you know what? Bob was like, you know what? All drinks on Timmy, on me. Anything Timmy wants is on me. That's what they call him over there. They call him Timmy. They call him Timmy over there. They call him Timmy over there, man. But that's how I feel, man. Like, Timmy just lost his mind, man.
Yeah, and just to elaborate, I think it's proof that people will fight him. And I think the promotion between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury shows the strength actually in working together. The fact that you can make a fight like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury and promote it during the college football playoff, which is one of the most watched sporting events in America. The Super Bowl is the most watched sporting event in America, and they're going to actually have an interview. Do you know how much that will cost? You know how much that would cost? They're doing it for free. Why? Because both networks benefit from it. That's how you know this across the street stuff is BS. Look at how many fights have been made across the street. Joshua Ruiz, and now you have Fury Wilder. These fights can be made. So enough of this talk about everyone ducking Terrence Crawford. Let me see Terrence Crawford sign a contract to fight somebody. Sean Porter is a great measuring stick because he's been in there with everyone. From Thurman, Garcia, Earl Spence. You fight him, Broner. You fight him, although Broner's not in that class, but you know,
Put him on still recognize him.
He put Porter on his ass. Put Porter on his ass.
So this Spence.
Who did it better?
He beat Porter. I got you. Nah. So, but I'm just saying, you know what? You're right. Adrian Broner. Even Adrian Broner fought Sean Porter. So how about you fight him? And that would be a good gauge of where you're really at. So it doesn't make sense for you, right? Because what? So I don't know. But
Kaden, you said something though. You said something a couple episodes ago, like 3 episodes ago. You said Bob Arum only has a few sums left. So if Bob Arum wants to see all the top fights, well, he is willing to make everything happen.
that's how I would be. I would be worried about, oh no, we can make more money 3 years down the line. If I was Bob Arum's age, I'm like, F that.
Like 3 years.
I don't know if I got 3 days.
You know what you just said in 3 years?
I'm about to
be going 3 days.
Hey, they say, oh,
Bring everything in.
don't make the Fury Wilder fight yet. What are you talking about? February. Make it in February.
For real, he had all his fights back to
3
back.
years.
Everybody, that's where all these fights is happening.
You ever see like those Cialis commercials? They're like, ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough. He's like, I gotta get a checkup. I gotta get approved to even be at this fight. You know what I'm saying?
I want to see all the fights. You know what I mean?
All right, so now that we're done with the pleasantries out the way, and speaking of AB said he is gonna come back in 2020 in an interview that I saw. And one of my boys, he actually goes out to the fights and he shoots videos for the fights. Won't disclose his name because I don't know. I haven't asked him if it's okay to disclose his name. But he also told me he has an interview with Broner, and that Broner said he was coming back. So that's a dope thing. So Adrian Broner is coming back. Awards. Boxing Bros 2019 awards.
Going down.
What we will do is we will announce who we pick individually for these categories, and maybe we can agree on a unanimous decision for Boxing Bros, majority rules. But if we can't agree, then we just have to agree to disagree. All right, so the first category we're going to start off with is Trainer of the Year. And G, who do you have for Trainer of the Year?
All right, y'all gonna laugh, but walk with me on this.
Oh, God.
All right, y'all ready?
You know what? You can start. You can start. All right, before you go there, you can tell me if you have any like notables first, or you can decide how you disclose it.
Oh,
But
no. This is the only person that matters.
All right, Trainer of the Year.
My Trainer of the Year, Shane the Cannon Briggs. Now, let me explain. Now, the reason why is because although his fighter lost, right, he is the only trainer that sold a fight the way he did. You gotta give him credit for a newbie in the training sector of boxing. He came in hard body, promoted a fight that was a success, and even though his he almost got into a fight promoting that fight. You gotta give him credit.
I know you, champ.
Yo,
promoting anybody.
You know what I mean? Trainer of the Year, Shannon Kenny.
Chill, champ. All right, Trill Dollar Bill, Trainer of the Year.
I actually have three people in mind. Okay. All right, I'm a no order, but one I'm gonna go with AJ.
No, you don't get three picks. You have nominees. You can
Not
say
three
my
nominees. My three
All right.
nominees are AJ's trainer. I believe when everybody after AJ lost and everybody was telling him he needed to get a new trainer, you know what I'm saying? He stuck.
Robert McCracken.
Yeah, his trainer showed that he do know what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing in there. You know what I'm saying? And seeing him in there in the corner with AJ when he's telling AJ.
Yo, I'm sorry. The Trill would be the one. I have three trainers of the year. Like, you can't have three trainers of the year.
It's my list. And then,
Oh, and I would like to add another trainer. AJ's trainer is one, and then I want to give it up to the dads, the two dads out there, Devin Haney's pops and Tefima Lopez's pops, because Devin Haney's dad has got him there. He was the perfect. He didn't know what he was doing, so he had to learn too.
He learned on the job.
You know what I'm saying? He learned on the job, and he got his son is amazing. Tefima Lopez's dad also. He talks the trash, and Tefima Lopez has to go in there to back it up. Kind of reminds me of Danny Garcia and his daddy. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give those props to those two gentlemen, and they got their kids in the title shots. And these guys is guys that wasn't but these guys did it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to those two dads, Tefima Lopez's dad and Devin Haney's dad.
If you had to pick one,
Who'd you pick?
Yeah.
Who's Trainer of the Year?
I actually had to pick. I just see. I was like, I had to say AJ. AJ's trainer.
You don't get three.
AJ's trainer.
You don't get three.
You know what I'm saying? AJ's trainer.
He said, hold on. We got to vote.
Because I was ready. Because I thought we were gonna name it. Then we all,
you
agree
pick
on.
who you got, and then we see if we can agree.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's what. All right. So I'll explain again. We will throw out who we pick personally as Trainer of the Year.
I got a three-way tie.
And we so Trill has a three-way tie. Why am I not surprised? All right, so we have.
It's gonna be a long episode.
That's what I'm saying. It's like this stuff is unnecessarily long.
All right, AJ. I'll go with AJ's trainer.
All right, so here's what we have. It's like you put like black dude, like yo, nothing, just some guy. Like we ain't even go past category 1 yet. All right, so we will tell who we think should win for that category, right? Mm-hmm. And then we can see if we can come to an agreement. If we agree, that person becomes Boxing Bros Trainer of the Year. If we can't agree, we just agree to disagree and move on, which I can already see. We are going to agree to disagree a lot. All right. So, all right. What I have is So the two guys for me who are honorable mention, one is Derek James, and he's the trainer for Earl Spence Jr. and for Jermell Charlo. And basically, I felt like Jermell Charlo won the first fight with Tony Harrison, although it was a close fight. When I scored it originally, I had it scored for Charlo, although when I watched it a number of times, you could score it for Tony Harrison, so it wasn't a robbery. And then my next honorable mention is Floyd Mayweather Sr. Because if you know that he's the one who worked with Devin Haney. He's the one who trained Devin Haney from a kid. Devin Haney goes in the ring and employs a lot of what Floyd Mayweather Sr. taught him because he looks like baby Mayweather in there. And of course, his dad learned and a lot of things, but you build a fighter from the ground up. It's easy to get someone when they're already polished and they already learn. It's hard to teach someone how to throw a jab, bring your hand back, keep it up. Once someone already knows how to do that, it's easy to say all the other stuff. So, I mean, I give Devin Haney's father credit for looking the part, but Mayweather Sr. is actually the part. So, I got
he learned from the best, you know.
He didn't have to teach him. He didn't build him from the ground up.
He wasn't in the corner with him.
Yeah.
I'm talking about big trainers that's in the corner with him.
Trainers are people who teach you how to fight. Like, I can get in my car.
Emmanuel Stewart.
I could he is the guy. Emmanuel Stewart is probably, arguably,
the best,
one of the greatest trainers of all time. When you look at all the people who he's trained and the people who learned how to train from him and how to train, Emmanuel Stewart is still relevant to this day.
AJ won because of Emmanuel Stewart.
Yeah, AJ won because of Emmanuel Stewart. Tyson Fury has his nephew in the corner. Like, his impact on boxing is still felt to this day. Tony Harrison was a product of the Croc Gym. Like, I can keep going, bro. Emmanuel Stewart's impact on boxing.
Emmanuel Stewart for lifetime.
You got my vote.
The point I'm making is, I can't build a car, but I can put oil in it. Mm-hmm. I can't build a car, but I can change a tire. So yeah, Devin Haney's dad changes the tires every now and then. He didn't build that car though. So trainer of the year, Eddie Reynoso. He's the trainer for Canelo Alvarez and Ryan Garcia, and both fighters had impressive victories this year, and both fighters accomplished things that they haven't accomplished within their career. So if it was up to me, Eddie Reynoso's trainer of the year. Although I respect you guys, I respect your one pick, Greg, and I respect one of your picks, Trill, one of your three picks. So can we agree on a trainer of the year?
No, I actually, you know what, that Reynoso, that was because, Canelo being the powerful pound fighter to me.
So majority rules, so I mean.
I thought we was going to agree on Floyd Mayweather Sr. And I was going to be like, I'll give up Shannon for that.
I think Eddie Reynoso's trainer of the year.
I'm sticking with Shannon. You know what I'm saying?
Who you got?
I got Reynoso.
Reynoso is the pick for Boxing Bros trainer of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jesus. We moved on. So, all right, moving on. Lord knows what Trill has for this. All right.
I think we'll agree.
Promoter of the year.
I think we'll all agree on this one.
You know what? This has been the best. This has been the best year of boxing. I got all three promoters.
I'm gonna go. All right.
Eddie Hearn.
All right,
Just stay the promoter.
No, I just said.
So you got Eddie Hearn. That's fine. You got Eddie Hearn is winning, and you have
Al and Bob.
Okay, that's
all
right. And
yeah. So
G,
my runner-up is Al Heyman because. The reason why I'm giving Al Heyman runner-up is because he actually is keeping boxing on regular television. And I think that's huge for the U.S. market because a lot of people may not have Showtime and there's no more HBO and a lot of people don't have those DAZN or ESPN Plus subscriptions. So the fact that it's on regular television is a great thing. But obviously, I gotta, without a shadow of a doubt, Eddie Hearn, for securing that oil money from my man AJ. I mean, listen, he might get promoter of the decade for securing, what was it, like $85 million, whatever.
Yes.
That's outrageous, man. So as much as I hate Eddie Hearn, Salute to you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So your promoter is Eddie Hearn?
Yep.
Majority rules, so it doesn't really matter what I say.
But who you had anyway?
Well, one person I would like to give a shout out to, although I didn't pick this person as promoter of the year, is Kathy Duva. Kathy Duva's promoter of the she's nominated for promoter of the year for this reason. Kathy Duva doesn't have much. When she cashed out, baby, at the right time, and you gotta respect that. That's a promoter. She got her fighter paid. She got paid. I don't know how much longer Kathy Duva can hang on. I don't know who's in her stable, whatever. But she got that check. She got that check with that Anthony Yard fight. She saw in that Anthony Yard fight. She said, "He lucky this boy don't spar." Canelo, can we make this happen? So I got Kathy Duva. And promoter of the year for me is Eddie Hearn. So we can all agree on that. Boxing Bros, I'm shocked. We have a unanimous decision.
That was easy.
Boxing has been back this year.
Eddie Hearn as promoter of the year.
We was just talking about Bob. Bob wanted to see all the fights before he go. So that's why I do Bob in there.
You gotta get Bob some love. Bob still got all Bob's fighters are the top pound for
and
pound.
they're fighting every week.
And the most feared
on Thursdays, on Tuesdays, Mondays.
But you know what? They're the most you're right. They're the most feared fighters. They're the top pound for pound, and they're fighting Tom Schwartz, Mean Machine, Kavalaskis, and a bunch of easy guys. But they're still the most feared guys.
Listen, he's having fights on a Wednesday. Okay, Bob putting on fights on a Wednesday.
Bob don't care. Pay that man. That's all I gotta say. All right, this one should be interesting. I doubt we'll come to
We gotta agree on this.
Prospect of the year.
Oh, all right.
Prospect of the year, G. Who you got?
All right, I got my two runner-ups. I'm gonna start off with Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean?
Are they still prospects, even though they champions?
No, they're champions. Champions can't be prospects, dude.
No.
Look at Trill. School this man.
All right. You know what?
Let me go then.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead, Trill.
You go ahead. Pardon me.
Naming champions as prospects. How you the champion as prospect?
I have as my runner-up. I know it's crazy. It's a Stephen Fulton. He's the guy who's a bantamweight. He's 17-0. He got 8 KOs. He's actually going to be fighting on the undercard of Danny Garcia versus Ivan Redcalf, whatever his name is. But he's going to... Danny's
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm doing.
it's going to be Fulton's going to be fighting, and then Hurd, and then Danny's the main event. So if y'all don't know who Fulton is, y'all going to get a chance to see this kid. He's... I like him.
That's your runner-up.
Yeah, he's my runner-up.
Okay.
My top is a kid with only 10 wins but 5 KOs. But this kid, to me, he doesn't do anything wrong. Is Richardson Hitchison. I like him. I like the kid. You know what I'm saying? And he's a great prospect. There's other ones, but I went with the ones that I was actually, really in tune with. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I like others like Ortiz and stuff. I got Richard Hitchison. I got Richard Hitchison.
You want to add any more?
No, that's it. I'm going with my prospect.
All right. So since G wasn't prepared because he's naming champions as prospects.
Oops.
I had 2 people that came to mind. One was Daniel Dubois, whatever. I don't know how he says his name, but clearly he has work to do. I don't know how good he can be, but he has tools. If he utilizes it, we'll see. My prospect of the year is Xander Zayas, the 17-year-old Puerto Rican who made his debut in America.
Like 2-0, right?
No, he just made his debut. I think he only had 1 fight. I could check.
I think he just had another fight. I think he just had another fight.
Rushing the kid, making him have 2 fights. I thought he.
Oh shit! I thought they was gonna
They
put him in
gotta
4
rush him. They
4
got
fights
to,
this
man.
year.
He better do 5. Shoot. You know what I'm saying?
Then that's 50 grand for
Yeah,
him.
that's what I'm
10
saying.
grand a fight.
And he's mad young too, so.
Yeah. So
What they say?
I mean,
thought
let
he
me
just
check
had
on
a
him
fight.
right now. I guess.
DAZN brought him out.
Nah, he was a top rank, I think.
Oh, I thought maybe it was a different cat. That was
But yeah, I'm just checking on that. Here he is. Hold up. Yeah, you're right. He got 2 fights.
Yeah.
They gave him another fight. Yeah, so
on the undercard of one
he
of
got
the
2
DAZN
fights 2 knockouts. And so, yeah, that's my prospect of the year because I saw him and he looks polished. He looks good. He's 17. Now, of course, I'm picking a kid with 2 fights. So, but yeah, so far from what I've seen, I like from G.
Oh, well, because I messed it up. However, I do agree with Daniel Dubois, or Du Bois, however you say his name. Number 1, because he's in the heavyweight division. And 2, I do believe because I'm biased. and 2,
It's all good. You biased to the
but they giving
biased to the lighter division.
but they giving him work, and he's taking out his competition. And so I feel like probably sometime in 2020 he's going to get a real test. And then we'll truly see if he deserves to be in the heavyweight division.
What you say, Trill? Oh, Trill wants to add F.A. Joppa.
I just say as far as prospects go, like Hitchison is our guy. You don't think so? You don't think he's our guy?
All right, so Trill, Richard, you said Richard Hitchison.
Yes.
I say Xander Zayas, and G, you're saying Daniel Dubois.
Yeah.
I'm not changing. Are you changing?
Yeah, I don't even care for this segment. So whatever y'all want to do, man. I'll go with you, Trill. I'll go with you.
What a surprise they go with this. This is what happened. All right, so we got Richard Hitchison is the boxer bro prospect
Like welterweight, you know what I'm
of the
saying?
year.
10 fights, 5 KOs.
Remember this day, folks. You said he's fighting on the undercard of the Danny Garcia fight.
That's Fulton. Fulton is fighting on the card, and he's 17-0 with 8 KOs. He's your typical Philly fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's got a lot of movement. He's from Philly.
All right. Next category we're moving on to is round of the year.
Damn, man.
And G, we're gonna start with you since you didn't.
Oh man, I ain't even got one of those.
You don't have round.
I
of the
got
year?
round of the year.
All right, so G's just gonna beat it.
Hold on, I'll do this. I'll say my round of the year was when AJ got dropped like a.
You watching? You look
Round
at my
3.
shit.
I didn't even know you did that.
Round
But like,
3.
but I would say that round
round
when,
three.
when he got like
Round
pummeled.
3.
You know what I mean?
All right.
That's what I got. Round 3.
Round 3.
Round 3. AJ versus.
All right. Well, let me just hop in. Round of the year for me was a very difficult one to decide. All right. So I have 2 that I think people can. One was Sergey Kovalev with Anthony Yard, round 11. I think that was a great round. But a better round was Derek Chisora versus Arthur Spilka, round 2. I think that was a great round. So I had to throw that in there as an option. Trill agrees that that's a good round.
Trill was like,
Well, round of the year for me was Joshua versus Ruiz, round 3. So, wow, we have another unanimous pick. I'm shocked. We are growing up, man.
we're doing it, man. Teamwork. Make the dream work.
I can't believe this, man. I'm surprised since I thought Trill was going to come up with a fight we've never seen.
I was gonna say round 7, Inoue and Nito Denier.
Yeah, that was a good round. Yeah, man. All right, so now we're moving on to knockout of the year. And Trill, who do you have for knockout of the year?
There was a lot of crazy knockouts where guys was slept for a long time.
Slept.
But I'm gonna go with one
Shout out to Ned
that had the best, that the most shock and impact was Ruiz. Ruiz over AJ.
That's a good pick. G?
I got Wilder versus Brazil. And the reason why is because,
God.
But like the AJ most yeah, but that was
the year that caused the most.
Yeah, that knockout like was viral. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Brazil literally walked into his death. You know, and that to me was like probably the most impactful KO of the year because of how much traction it got on social media.
And Ruiz winning.
Ruiz winning, yes, but I'm talking about the actual knockout.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It was wild.
It was crazy.
Yeah, like Ruiz was more. It
They
was
had
like
the
a bunch
most-
of
the most
punishment,
impact.
and then the
Yeah,
referee
the
just
most
say, "Yo, you're done." But when it comes to like flatline, the Wilder versus Brazil.
Yeah, they got the most YouTube views. Shout out to Wilder, YouTube champ.
I ain't like how that.
No one can pat me on YouTube like Wilder. If only he got paid for YouTube views.
Give him the YouTube belt. That would be dope.
He should just stop fighting on
Fight
networks and fight
him
on
and Logan
YouTube.
Paul for the YouTube belt.
Even though that sounds like a good idea. Like YouTube sports.
So for me, the nominees were Derek Chisora knocking out Arthur Spilka in round 2. Trill's loving that. But for me, the KO of the year was Ryan Garcia versus Duno. Round 1 knockout where they were building it up like he was afraid of the dude. He was afraid to take the fight. And he was getting bashed on social media. There was turmoil between Golden Boy and Ryan Garcia. And then in the biggest fight of his life, he came out with a ring entrance for the ages. No, so G didn't like his outfit. But he went out there and he KO'd him in impressive fashion. So for me, I'm going with Ryan Garcia, KO and Duno. So can we come to an agreement, fellas, on this?
I still got Ruiz.
Come on, True. This is a
Man,
lighter weight.
yo,
This is
listen,
a lighter
yo,
weight.
I thought you was gonna switch to my side, but since you talking about still you with Ruiz, and I'll switch over with Ryan because that was a good point. You know what I mean? The turmoil between him and Oscar De La Hoya, and people calling him scared of Donaire, and then he came in and punished him.
It was nothing like the night after when you found out that when Ruiz won AJ, when he beat AJ and he won. It was nothing like that. It was
That shocked the world.
That shocked the world.
Which knockout was better though? Come
That's
on,
what
man.
I'm saying. We're talking about knockout, though. You know what I mean?
I mean,
My
it was
man,
crazy.
Ryan Garcia hit him with an ankle punch.
Then there was Teofimo Lopez when he knocked out that dude before the last one. He hit him with that.
Yo, Trill, make your vote.
I got Ruiz, but we can go with the kid,
fine,
with
yo.
kid Ryan.
Ryan
I
got
lost.
it. Ryan
got it.
Did you just call him Ryan Gosling?
Yeah.
The Mexican Ryan Gosling.
All right, so we have the award for courage in overcoming adversity. Mm-hmm. This doesn't mean, and the way we view this is, you faced an obstacle, you overcame the obstacle, and so, Trill, who you got?
I got anyway. After you winning the fight, after getting your audible bone in the face and another bone in your face broken, and you still fight like a warrior and win the fight against a game fighter like Nino Donaire, that's facing adversity to me, because I've been seeing a lot of people quitting, and this for less reasons than a broken audible bone and a broken bone in your face.
You keep hitting, because I ain't quitting. All right, go ahead, G.
My honorable mention is actually Anthony Joshua after the Ruiz defeat. And the reason why I say that is because you're talking about a man who just lost 4 belts, right? And he
Question. Is that the same? I thought we had 2 different categories. We had comeback and we had adversity.
Comeback's actually coming back in the fight to win a fight you were losing.
Oh, damn. Oh, well, shit. Well, I put AJ as a comeback. Like after losing, he came back to win.
Nah, it would be the same thing that you just said with I knew like
Inu.
Basically, they both had some obstacle that they had to overcome for the victory. Yeah. So you would have to pick between those 2.
AJ and Inu.
Yeah, for this category.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
Shit.
So the reason why I have AJ is because of so much pressure on him during that. I remember, like even myself, I was like, AJ, don't immediately run it back with Ruiz.
Yeah, me
take
too.
a tune up. You know, like.
Please, you jumped out the window. G was like, it's over.
Listen. Yo, I'm gonna be honest. I thought he was done for, and so the world I'm not gonna say the world, but he had a lot of naysayers for that rematch, and he proved everyone wrong. He had a true heart of a champion. He never came up with any excuses. So to me, I can't even think of a person, any fighter, that had more pressure at the time than AJ to overcome.
That's
that.
your honorable mention.
No, he's my. Oh yeah, he's my honorable mention.
Okay.
Oh, he's an honorable mention.
Yeah.
We was talking about it.
But I might switch.
That's why I had to remind you. That's your honorable mention.
But now, this is
Anyways, my honorable mention. After the broken face and everything.
Now this was me. I'm just being foolish with this one, but I'm willing to switch up and give AJ. But originally I had Dominique Brazil, but the reason why Walk will be on this. So the reason why
He's walking now.
because Dominique Brazil.
He showed his face in public.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, I'm telling you. You gotta understand the way that fight was. Dominique Brazil's like,
He
they
survived.
disrespecting my wife. You know, they jumped me in front of my children. He was saying all type of craziness, right? He promised he was going to destroy Wilder. He gets in the ring round one, massive knockout, and then he disappeared for a bit. But then he came back on PBC Fox and literally gave Wilder his credit and said he learned so much from
What
Wilder.
else could he say?
Huh?
What else could he say?
He could have been like, I didn't train.
Yo, he should be.
You're right, he could have pulled a Ruiz. You know what I'm saying?
He couldn't pull. And then, you know what?
Ruiz, man.
He should be Malik Scott. Him and Malik Scott should be Wilder's best friends. He should be Wilder's best friend because when Wilder could have buried him, he picked him back
Yeah,
up.
facts. And then so to end on the Dominique Brazil was the fact that during it he was like he learned so much from the Wilder situation. He learned that moving forward he has to be more aggressive in the beginning rounds. He can't just warm up. And so to me that takes a lot for a man to just admit like my adversary that I hated gave me that work. And so for that he gets the courage award for me. But I'm being honest with you. I was just being funny.
I'm telling you, if anything, I was more impressed with Wilder in the way he handled that fight afterwards than Brazil because with all the bad blood and all the trash talk, after Wilder knocked him out, Wilder was very gracious and he was a good winner. And just as much as you have sore losers, you can have some very bad winners.
He didn't go over there and lift his legs over him.
He didn't try to embarrass him. He didn't do nothing. He said things to bring him back and to speak life into the man. So I was actually more impressed with Wilder at the end of that fight. But so true.
Yeah. And just to my pick is, I switched that. I agree with G. It got to be number one. To me, it got to be for adversity. It got to be AJ for him to make that comeback. I switched it from Inoue being got to be the close second. You know what I'm saying? My second nominee.
No,
But
I'm gonna switch my Brazil to AJ.
What do you got?
I have AJ for some reason. So we have another unanimous. All right.
Come back, right?
Just because, for all things you said, people threw dirt on this man, said he was hype. If Anthony Joshua lost that rematch, his whole legacy would have been tarnished. And so, the fact he took an immediate rematch and he did what he did, just his demeanor, in
Kept
that
his
fight.
trainer. It was a lot of
We were
stuff,
talking
man.
about this. The one thing I really liked about what Anthony Joshua did was when he punched Ruiz behind the head. And Ruiz started complaining. And I'm like, finally the dog I've been waiting to see. You got a man in the ring trying to hit you behind the head. How come you're not trying to hit him back behind the head?
Exactly.
It's just I was happy to see a lot of things from Anthony Joshua. So we agree on that. We'll move on. Comeback of the year. So this is the fight where, and so since I don't know if we're gonna have the same.
Let's just fast forward. I'm gonna say Anthony Joshua, the AJ Ruiz 2 fight.
But that's not comeback.
Yeah, it's not a comeback.
Comeback is when you were losing.
But I said,
that's why I had to switch mine around.
And then you came back.
See, I wasn't even listening. Trill, my bad. Go with Trill. I'm gonna come up with
Honestly, I think there's only one really. So I'll tell you what I have, and maybe you guys will agree.
I have Sergey Kovalev stopping Anthony Yarde.
Anthony Yarde.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
actually the best comeback of the year because
With a
I was
jab.
I was watching
good
that
fight. That's a
fight
good fight.
and I was thinking that Sergey Kovalev is done, and I was thinking this is it, and I was like, yo, Anthony Yarde is really that dude. I thought he was hyped. I didn't think because you know what, going in, everyone was saying he's never been in a fight at this level, he won't win, and then Sergey Kovalev came back in that 11th round and stopped him. And so to me, I had
No,
never
I actually
come
wrote
back.
that as runner-up. I had it as a runner-up.
You
but-
actually, you know what I had? I had the Jose Ramirez versus Maurice Hooker fight.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I had that fight because Maurice Hooker was winning that fight easily, and then Ramirez came through. It kind of reminiscent of when Corrales caught Castillo against the ropes and hit him with that shot, and the ref came in and stopped the fight. It was real reminiscent.
I was actually expecting that in that
You know
fight
what I'm
though.
saying?
Because like if he was gonna win Ramirez,
He was gonna win by
it was gonna
knockout.
be that way. So it was always like, okay, you up, but stay away.
I'm gonna go with. I forgot who he was fighting though, but Billy Joe Saunders. When he was losing and he got the knockout,
yeah.
because he was losing, I was like, this dude really messed up. You know what I mean? But he got the knockout at the end, so yeah, he's gonna have my comeback fight of the year.
Yeah.
So who we
All right,
decide
so we gotta pick one.
We're all up in the air with everything. I got Ramirez and Hooker. You say you got.
I'm gonna say
Anthony Yarde.
I'll go with his
Yeah,
Kovalev because
Anthony Yarde, Kovalev.
I had
As your running-up.
as my runner-up anyway, so I seen it the same way that Kovalev I thought was gonna get knocked out and then ended up winning the fight. So moving on.
Well, so we have it. I just want to see
Yeah.
if Trill's gonna switch over.
Yeah, I got it. Y'all can go with it.
I don't even know how to say the dude who you're talking about that Billy Joe Saunders was in the fight with, but it's like Marcelo Esteban.
Y'all win unanimous
Casares.
decision.
So we got
You know I'm always gonna go for the littler guys.
you actually did it in the Ruiz knockout of the year. You went Ruiz.
He couldn't deny that. You know what I mean?
All right, what category were we just?
Now we on upset.
No, I'm saying what category did we just do?
Oh, comeback.
Comeback.
Yes, right. So for comeback, we're picking Sergey
Kovalev.
All right. Oh, but there's also Andy Ruiz coming back to stop Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, that.
So you guys still want to keep it Sergey
Yeah, I'm just
All right. over Andy Ruiz? True, you was fighting for Ruiz. You don't want to fight for Ruiz on this one?
Listen. If it ain't that one, it got to be the Ramirez Hooker fight. That fight, man. Listen.
All right, so we're still with Sergey.
I'm still thinking about that right hand. You know.
I think this one we were gonna agree.
Upset of the year.
Ruiz.
Yeah, Joshua Ruiz won. I think it's unanimous.
I actually have Wilder B and Ortiz. I'm joking.
I know. I was like,
Who didn't know he was gonna win that fight?
He lost every round.
Only people who gonna go Ortiz in that fight when people at the nursing home. That's for us.
your favorite cameraman. You know what I'm saying?
Ned was like so serious about it. No,
Poor
actually,
Ned.
honorable mention. I had Julian J. Rock Williams over Jarrett Hurd because I thought Hurd was going to beat him, and I think everyone thought he was going to beat him, and Jarrett Hurd was able to pull it off. But yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, Andy Ruiz, that's upset of the year. I was upset that Wilder won. That's why it's upset of the year. Okay, event of the year.
Yeah.
Trill, who you got?
Alright, for runner-up for event of the year, I got Broner versus Pacquiao. Just because
That wasn't this year.
this was.
You
It was
said
the beginning
Broner.
of the year.
It
Yeah,
was,
Broner.
January.
Bro, that was this year?
Yes.
Yo,
January.
I thought the same thing, and I looked it up.
Yo,
January.
holy smokes, yo.
Beginning of the year.
I don't know why it felt like it was, you know why? Because it was January.
Yo, we thought the same thing. We looked up, man, when I looked
That's
it up.
why it seems like it was forever. All right. What was it like, early January?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It started off the year. Started out as the event of the year, and it started off the year right. And Broner said, "This is for the hood," and he let us down. You know what I'm saying? But as far as being an event, I know everybody was tuned into this joint. I'm talking about people.
The whole hood was in
The
that
whole
joint.
hood was inside there.
And the hood know that he won.
Listen, and not to mention is, you know what I'm saying, we got one of our biggest. You know what I'm saying? Like this, when I say this, like even though you know, Brona, you know what I'm saying, fell short, it was still one of the biggest build-ups, and everybody, people that have never, old people, young people have never heard of boxing before, people that heard of the sport but never watched the sport before, people was talking about this on other shows. I was watching TV and they were talking about it on other shows that normally don't even talk about boxing.
This is all Trill.
Yeah, this is all me.
I'm not co-signing this.
I got a different.
This was started off, so that was my runners up. But my number one.
To conduct this professionally, or we're not going to have an interview. You make the decision. What did you think about the fight?
I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him. I controlled the fight. He was missing. I hit him clean more times. I beat him.
You averaged 8 punches. Less than 8 punches was the most punches that you had in the round, and it seemed as though you couldn't get
It already sounded like you was against me. I already ain't got a fair shake talking to you, but let me talk something. Let me let y'all know. I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy. Y'all know I beat that boy. What they trying to do is they trying to get that money again with Pacquiao and Floyd. But it's cool. I ain't worried about it. I'm still that man. I'm on top. Cincinnati, stand up. West side. 2 times.
You're 3-3 and 5. What will you do next?
Hey, I'm 3-3-1 my last 7, but I'll be 7-0 against you.
Well, yeah. When I said that started off the year right. You know what I'm saying? But then, but I have to go with the number one. I think it was the event of the year. It has to be the showdown at the Dooms in Saudi Arabia. That has to be the event of the year for me.
All right. Who you got?
Yeah. So my runner-up was actually Pacquiao versus Thurman.
We sold more seats. We sold more tickets. What are you talking about?
Nah, but the pay-per-views were higher for the Pacquiao Thurman than the Pacquiao Broner.
I gotta see that.
But I do agree with you that clearly was the Saudi Arabia event. You know, with Joshua Ruiz too.
This is good. Honorable mention. I have Ruiz Joshua 2. For me, the event of the year was KSI versus Paul Logan.
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. It's the same name. He got 2 first names.
2 first name facts.
You know what they say? Never trust a guy with 2 first names. No, I think that was the event of the year. Only because, like, when you think of the number of people who was watching it, the fact that it involved 2 YouTubers, and the 2 YouTubers were the main event on a fight that featured Billy Joe Saunders and Devin Haney, who are actual real champions in the sport of boxing. It was just like an event for real. Like, this was like a sideshow event that people were hyped about. You had Shannon and Cannon Briggs.
More people into the sport, yeah.
And you had actual boxers, like I said, like Devin Haney and Billy Joe Saunders, who were like, yeah, let me get on that card because, you know, this event's going to be big. So that's why I have that as event of the year. But, of course, I'm not going to argue with Ruiz, Joshua, too.
But that's a good argument, though.
So here at the Boxing Bros, are we going to be able to reach an agreement on this one?
For which one?
This category, dude. Who do you have? What's the event of the year in boxing?
Well, I think we all agree. Me and Trill.
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. You got it as your runner-up, so I think we good.
We ain't good. I want Logan Paul, KSI, but fine. I'll do it. This is the second time Trill's gone against the smaller fighters. All right, fight of the year. Who you got, G? What's the fight of the year?
Fighter?
Fight of the year. Like the best fight of the year.
Oh. I got Inoue versus Donaire. But my runner-up for that was Pacquiao Thurman. I thought that was a real entertaining fight. I was like, I don't think Pacquiao's going to do much because he's old, and I was proven wrong. And so the dynamic was good. But the fight of the year for me was Inoue versus Donaire. From round one to the end was an action-packed fight.
I totally agree with G, but unfortunately, unlike G, I don't have no runner-up. I think it's a unanimous for me. Fight of the year anyway. And
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, facts.
So for me, I thought about Earl Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter. I thought about Sergey Kovalev, Anthony Yard. I thought about Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman. And I thought about Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz 1. And for me, I went with Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz 1 as the fight of the year, mainly because of all the things that Trill said earlier. It's like everyone talked about it. It shocked the world, and it led to the Clash on the Dunes. So for me, that's the number one fight of the year. But you two have the same fight. So,
So moving on.
all right, fighter of the year. Who you got, G?
All right. This is the only person I got, and it's Canelo Alvarez, because this was the year he established that he was a champion of 4 different weight divisions. That's a spectacular feat that no one else accomplished this year. So for that, shout out to Canelo. So he gets my fighter of the year.
Shout out to you for not being foolish. All right, Trill.
Exactly.
What you thought I was gonna say?
I have some run-ups. I totally agree with.
Worse than me, man.
It's not you, it's just the other Wilder players. They set a very low standard. Yo, Complex would have been on here like, Wilder! Show Wilder! He KO Brazil! KO Ortiz! Everyone's ducking him!
You know you're gonna call back under this. Oh, man.
Number one, we already know who number one is. But I'm gonna go 3. Number 3 to me, I had Manny Pacquiao coming back as an older man and regaining not an interim belt but the real belt from a younger, faster, more hungrier guy, Keith Thurman,
The guy who was recognized as the man.
Yeah, and the unified champion, and putting him and dropping him. I had him as third. Second was a guy named Earl Spence, who came into his own this year, becoming a champion, then becoming unified champion, and then having a big pay-per-view fight with Mikey Garcia, and then becoming unified champion. This was Earl's coming out year, so to say. But you can't go against the pound-for-pound fighter of the year. Canelo Alvarez is definitely, he's definitely my number one. Viva Mexico.
You both are smoking. You're smoking, and you're smoking.
Okay.
For you, how can you not have a runner-up list or have an honorable mention list for fighter of the year? And for you, how can you make Earl Spence be your number 2? All right. Number 1 for me is Canelo Alvarez. So we have we're unanimous on that. But I do have 2 runner-ups. And Manny Pacquiao is one of them, and Anthony Joshua is the other. And the reason why I have Anthony Joshua as fight of the year is because he was involved in 2 of the biggest fights of the year. And if we're talking about judging fighters of the year, that's how you judge fighters of the year. So you have Manny Pacquiao, Adrian Broner, Keith Thurman, and then I actually thought the Broner fight was in 2018, but it was early 2019, which even solidifies Manny Pacquiao being on this list even more because he had 2 major events this year, and then you have Anthony Joshua, who had 2 major events this year, and then you have Canelo Alvarez, who did as well. So you gotta give it to Canelo, but those 3 guys,
Shout out to Earl. You can't mention Earl. Earl had to fight with Mikey. He had to fight with Sean. He had to fight with the Ferrari.
I was just joking. He had. Oh God! I just got what you just said.
With that Ferrari, that fight happened this year too.
Nah, but Mikey and Sean Porter, those are 2 big fights as well for Earl Spence. So without a doubt, you know what, he goes up there as a runner-up as well. All right, so Ducker of the Year award. Now this is gonna get live, folks. So if you've been listening, like, oh, these guys, they just sitting around giving out the same awards. Well, you dossers, be easy. We're moving on to the juicy stuff. Ducker of the year, Trill. Who you got?
I got 3 guys.
I want to see if you got the same guys I got.
I got Wilder, Lomachenko, and Terrence Crawford. You know, man? These are the guys I got. The reason why, because name some top guys that these guys have fought. I'll wait.
I'm done.
All right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So until these guys get in here with some guys that's coming there to win, I'm thinking that these guys right here are and 2 of them happen to be on top rank. So, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm which one of you guys pick, but those are my 3 guys. I can go with whatever one of these 3 guys.
You'll be the deciding vote, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
G.
Yo, I went completely left, but for my honorable mention, I do have Terrence Crawford for obvious reasons that clearly he re-signed with Top Rank, knowing that all his real competition is in PBC, and he stayed over there in ESPN. So, to me, he gets honorable mention. But my duck of the year is actually Big Farmer Miller, and the reason why is because he accused AJ of doing all kind of drugs, cheating, all of that stuff, and in the moment to get his hugest payday, what he do?
That's the
Gets
biggest
busted.
cheater of the year.
But think about it. Like,
It's not the worst conspiracy G ever.
no, but when you think about it, he took 3 performance enhancement drugs, knowing that's
He did it to
He
7.
took a PED cocktail.
Think about this. He took a
Who's who?
You took
He had a snack in the meal and dinner. Like,
you're telling me you took a PED cocktail right before one of the hugest fights in the heavyweight division that the world was watching. That, to me, was the definition of a duck, because he knew he was going to get caught,
He said
and that
he
was
knew
his
it.
out.
No, not
That
only
was
did he
his
do
out.
that, he was also the world's dumbest criminal. He did all this and then was posting videos of his new physique all on Instagram.
Yo, my man Snitch, you got 6 pack.
Like, how did Gerald get a 6-pack in 2 weeks? Yo,
That's what I'm
if
saying.
anything, he should have avoided social media. He should have been like, just had rumors out there. He should have put rumors out there.
He said, Vada, please come investigate.
Yeah. He should put rumors out there like, oh, he's training like a dog. Oh, he's been running 8 miles a day. He should have stayed out of public eye. No, he's in a weight room with the cameras on him in a tank top.
So y'all gotta walk with me on this. He has to be the biggest ducker of 2019.
It's not the worst you've ever come up with, but go ahead.
The argument's solid. You know what I
You
mean?
didn't make me mad.
He got so shook. He said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do drugs just so they can cancel the
He
fight."
should have got caught with a gun or something. Illegal trouble or something.
He was willing to get suspended for 6 months to a year.
So what's worse? So what's worse?
Yeah, he was willing to get kicked out of
What's
boxing.
worse, taking a PED cocktail to win a fight or drinking your own piss to win a fight?
Nah, the PEDs is worse, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The PEDs is worse.
You know what?
Because he ran the risk of
As
actually
bad
losing.
as it is, if you gave me a choice, like if I had no choice, I'd drink my own piss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yo, think about this. He was willing to risk.
Yeah, Marquez was tough on that beat.
Remember this. Another
If he
thing,
make
too.
you that tough.
Another thing I got to factor in. Big Pharma Miller was even cool with Eddie Hearn, and even Eddie Hearn was saying this dude needs to get kicked out of boxing.
Because Eddie
That
Hearn
was
loved
that
AJ
crazy.
and he
Yeah,
felt like he
but you
was
see,
trying to kill
Well,
him.
now he cool with
Now they cool, but think about this. He
cost him
ran the
some bread.
risk, not just bread, but he ran the risk of literally being banned from the sport of boxing. That's the ultimate duck.
Move
That's the
on, man.
ultimate,
Who else you got, dude?
Nah, that's my pick.
Yo, see, this is what I mean about Wilder fans. To protect Wilder,
Stop it,
this
man.
man came up with a whole giant. You see,
Off the
don't
bread.
let any of this distract you from the fact that Wilder is on my list for Ducker of the Year. Vasily Lomachenko,
that's it.
Terrence Crawford.
got the same people.
But I got one,
A special person.
that's right, that you don't have.
Okay.
The WBC. Poor Dillian. Give my man Dillian his shot. So I got the WBC We Be Cheating because for some odd reason, Dillian White mysteriously fails a sample with UCAD, but he passes with VADA. And come to find out, he never failed the test.
I love
There was never a trace of PED in his systems. It was contaminated, that lab, contaminated that man's sample, and that's how he tested positive for a PED. Not because he ever had it in his system, they contaminated the man's sample.
Hold on, so who you got?
The
WBC.
Hold on, I thought we were talking about Ducker
Ducker of the year. They ducking.
WBC.
They ducking Dillian. They don't want to give Dillian
I respect that.
Hey, you got. Hey, listen,
You the one who got Gerald Miller.
or WBC.
I think WBC.
I hate the WBC. Blame Miller. Don't blame Wilder.
That's my point.
Wale ain't got that type of pull.
No, but I'm gonna come to the WBC's aid. You know what I'm saying?
So I got WBC, Terrence Crawford, Vasily Lomachenko, and Deontay Wilder. My winner is Deontay Wilder. I don't just think Deontay Wilder ducked the WBC. I mean, ducked Dillian White. I think he ducked Vladimir Klitschko. I think he ducked Tyson Fury when
AJ.
Tyson Fury was in his prime. I think he ducked AJ. I think that he's ducked a lot of
That's a
people.
quick question though. When we talking about Ducker of the year, are we talking about what's going on in the year or just the entire?
No, I'm
career?
saying the duck of the year.
I thought we were talking about just this year.
Yeah.
Because then if you do it like that, then I can entertain Wilder.
No.
But we're talking about 19.
I'm saying duck of the year. This year he ducked my man Dillian. Dillian was the #1 ranked WBC challenger, and instead of fighting Dillian, he fought Brazil because they had bad blood.
It sounded like, you know, if we just count this year, then yeah, you know, because Wilder, if we were saying ducking, like Wilder did a lot of ducking, but if just this year doesn't seem
That's
too
what
much
I'm
of a
saying.
Wilder ducking. Seems more of a Crawford
Yeah,
when he not
Crawford
signing.
was
But to come to the WBC's aid, bro. Because I love the WBC, you know what I'm saying? I love the green belt. That's the only belt like I really. Well, anyways, not dissing the other belts, you know what I'm saying? But just because if I'm having a party and I don't want you to come to my party, I don't have to invite you because I invited everybody in the class. So just because I'm having a party, I have to invite everybody in the class.
I'm a counter. How about this? You're right, you don't. But you do have to invite me if you say, okay, if you jump over that table, you can come to my party. I jump over that table, and then you go, no, jump over 2 tables.
Man,
You
you
can
jump
come to my
you jump
party.
out the window
And I
on the
jump
second
off
floor.
Hold
You
on.
can come to the
You
party.
jump off the window on the 7th floor and you survive and you can still
Hold
walk.
on.
You can
Hold
come to my party.
Hold on.
I do all those things and then you're like,
Hold-
you still can't come to my
Hold
party.
on. Did we shake on it? Did we shake on it?
I crossed my
fingers.
fingers.
Apparently not. Because
That's what the WBC. Listen, I said this a long time ago. Just because they don't have to like you. You know what I'm saying? You know, they just don't like him. Poor Dillian. All right, I could go for any 3 of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Wilder, Loma, and Crawford.
Yo, come on, y'all. So y'all not gonna rock with me? on
So
my-
I won't go. I picked Wilder, but truthfully, the fact that he is fighting Fury again, and I know that's a big challenge for him, I respect it because although I'm calling Wilder a ducker, he's still been in with the lineal heavyweight champion, and he's fighting the lineal heavyweight champion again.
Thank you, Kaden.
So
appreciate
I could give him that. But if I'm not going with Deontay Wilder,
it gotta be Crawford.
I gotta go Crawford because at least Vasily Lomachenko was in the ring and took a picture with Teofimo.
And although I still believe Miller should win this award, I'll agree and I'll give it to Crawford.
All right, so we got Crawford.
Robbery.
Robbery of the year. To me, they can only be one, but I'm
There's
curious
only
to
be
see.
one. There's only
See
one.
what y'all got.
There's only one.
All right, go ahead,
The
Trails.
Reverend Chenko. To me, I'm sorry. It just soon as I just I just crumbled up my paper. You hear that? The Reverend Chenko. To me, I think I'm this poor bastard.
That is true. Rap business.
You know what I'm saying? If anyone, you know what I'm saying? If and my honorable mention is Dillian White.
The WBC.
Keep robbing him.
I got that.
Poor Dillian.
Poor Dillian.
I actually agree with Trill on that. Yo, poor the Rev, you know what I'm saying? But my honorable mention was actually the KSI versus Logan Paul 2, because when the ref deducted the 2 points, I thought that was too harsh, you know, and because of that, he lost the fight to KSI.
I don't think it was a robbery though, because like for me, I do feel like KSI was robbed of a knockdown, and I do feel like Logan Paul was robbed of those points. If you scored the rounds to me appropriately, and you factor in the knockdown, and you give Logan Paul those points back, I had it a draw. So to me, it's not robbery. That's why I don't have it as a robbery. I actually had it like being a draw. Like if you do the points the actual way it was supposed to be done, I had it being a draw.
But I felt like the ref should have gave Logan Paul a warning. He didn't even give him a warning. He just said, nah, yo, 2 points. And I was like, yo, come on, man. Like, why would you do that?
Wasn't Jack Reese the ref?
Yep.
So my beef is, why do you have Jack Reese, a real championship referee in this sideshow? It's like he's not even, like, I wouldn't care. It's like,
Yo, and he looked bothered too.
Yeah,
like,
he was-
how dare they put me in there?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure. It just seemed like he was frustrated to even be in that ring, and I can understand it, because like I would feel that same way. And you put me at a low level, and I'm like, do you know, like, dude,
Who I am?
I ref
Yeah.
like I am the ref of refs.
Right.
And you got me refing this garbage. So yeah. For me, there's only one fight on my list. Triple G versus the Revian Champion.
Facts, yeah.
That is a robbery of the year, without a doubt, to me. So there's no need to even. We can all agree on that unanimously. All right, so we're moving on. Best trash talk of the year.
We got it, my man. From the D.
I think we all agree.
My man from the D. My man from Detroit. Rest in peace, Maserati Rick. It gotta be the homie, Tony Harrison. To me, I got him as trash talk of the year. He was living in that boy.
G, who you got?
No, I agree, but I got 2 runner-ups. Obviously, Tyson Fury. And then the other runner-up is actually Gary Russell, running down on homie's pops.
That's not.
That's trash talk. That's trash talk. I agree.
Excuse my
But it's
language.
like, that's a matter of fact, when trash talking goes too far, I'll give y'all that. So,
No,
but
hey,
obviously,
man.
I got Tony
All
Harrison.
y'all better watch y'all language, because we done reached our limit on swears for this episode.
Oh, damn, you swear?
And you did too.
When I do
You
that?
dropped the F-bomb, man.
Oh, we'll take it out.
All right, man. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know how many swears we get before they flag us. So we cutting it close.
Oh,
And
that's a podcast you swear.
And AB
you swear
and
podcast.
AB said the N-bomb on the clip that I played. But it's a clip. It's a Showtime clip. So I mean, I don't know. It's not us. It's AB.
Find him.
He said it.
Pardon me, listeners.
Listeners, we apologize for this episode getting a little bit rowdy, but it's not over yet. All right, so for me, trash talk of the year, it gotta be Tony Harris, man. Listen, what Tony Harrison did was awesome. It was like the best. Like he said, he promoted this fight well, and I think that's why even at the end of the fight, Jermell Charlo couldn't be mad, and he had to give it up to him, because he was like, this man pushed me to be better. He taught me a lesson. And not only did he do all that, he's the reason that all the people are in the seats. He's the reason all the people were tuning in to watch this fight.
Ain't nobody knew who he was.
He's the reason why the Bronze Bomber is tweeting this fight. I mean, or tweeting it out, putting it out on IG for all his fans. And you know, we clown Deontay Wilder, but he has around 2 million people. So he tweets it out, and around 2 million people see it. And you know, it's on free television, so they don't have to bootleg it like they do his fights. So of course they tune in and watch it. So you got to give it to him. But I do have runner-up, Tyson Fury, without a doubt. Tyson Fury's up there, and I have AB. Now that I know he fought this year, my man AB is up there. You ain't keep talking about Floyd. Floyd already beat you, brother. That was my favorite part of the trash talk. I was like, yo, this dude AB really think he gonna whoop Pacquiao when he said all that? Yeah, I was like, all right, so we're gonna move on to ring entrance of the year.
What? That was all.
Yeah, we had that ring entrance of the year.
It has to be, to me, it has to be AJ. AJ came in here that last fight looking real Muhammad Ali-ish.
Yeah, fact.
You know what I'm saying? So I gotta give it to AJ on this the return
In the
fight.
song he came
Yeah,
in.
facts.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, he made a statement. I give it to AJ also.
That's funny. Because I got to look at. I know that Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 1 happened in 2018. Wasn't that in like December?
Yeah, it was in 2018 December. Yeah, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Just say AJ, bro.
No, I actually don't think AJ had. I think AJ. If we're talking about like most symbolic ring entrance, I would pick Anthony Joshua. But I actually think the best ring entrance that I saw in a long time was when Wilder came out for the Fury fight. Whatever fight he came out with when he had what's his name? J-Rock, I think the guy sings win.
Oh yeah.
When
everything else. When
like that, to me, I think that was like a really good ring entrance. I also like Wilder's ring entrance when he came out to fight Brazil, because he had like those guys who were doing like all that extra movement or whatever, and they came out like, you know, I do think he tries to get creative with the ring entrance, although he comes in looking like the Shredder. You know what I'm saying? Like I
buy it now, y'all. I see they not that bad. It could be worse. He could come in looking like the Lion King.
I give him credit for having a style, a brand, and trying to bring some form of entertainment. Like, you know, at least like when Wilder comes out, you know, he's either coming out with an artist, he's coming out with something different, he's coming out with a band, and he's coming out with a fashion robe that his wife picked out and a Splinter mask. So I actually give it to Wilder, because I do look forward to what the hell is this dude going to be wearing when he comes out. So I'll give it to Wilder for
Charlo will be walking into fights looking like cast member of the live Lion King plays or something. You know what
and Danny Garcia does it too. I don't think it's necessarily.
Like
I'm not saying you have to like it. That's what I was about to get to. Yeah. But you always, when you're wondering like, what the hell is this dude going to come out wearing? I think like for AJ, I know AJ's coming out with something symbolic. It's going to be thoughtful. It's going to be. But like with Wilder, I'm like, what the hell is this dude going to do coming out in here? Like, you just never know. Like Tank Davis too. Like, what the hell is this?
I think Wilder is playing the antagonist role. So he's like, I'm gonna embody a villain. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna walk in here looking like he should be the last boss in Mortal Kombat.
All right. So G, you gonna stay with AJ, or you coming over to the Wilder side?
Oh no, I'm gonna still stick with AJ though.
All right. So Anthony Joshua is the best. Oh, I love that interest too, so I'm not mad about it. But I do like what Deontay Wilder does with his entrances as well. All right, so Glass Chin of the Year award. Glass Chin of the Year.
I think we're gonna disagree on this.
We probably will.
Yeah.
And will this be the first category we agree to disagree?
Now,
we haven't agreed to disagree on everything.
You know what? I'm gonna have for the guy who got it last year, and the last year before that, and the last year before that, Amir Khan.
He fought TC this year, bro.
And just couldn't take it no more, and he quit. You know what I'm saying?
But
he just quit.
He
just quit.
He did quit, yo.
Yeah.
He didn't quit. Verge stopped the fight.
No, Verge stopped.
Wink. Hey, you ain't do this. I'm doing this.
I'm calling it.
Thank you, Verge.
Damn, you know what? Alright, I didn't have that, but I'm gonna switch over. I actually had David Price and how he got caught by Chisora. That was ugly.
Yeah, but he a heavyweight.
Yeah, but
He's still a glass chin heavyweight.
Yeah, he's a glass chin heavyweight. And so we knew he was gonna get knocked out sooner or later in that fight.
But I'm saying, like, but he ain't the reason why I ain't saying him, because it ain't like he's gonna drop down and get knocked. Like Amir Khan and get knocked out by somebody in the strawweight division.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I was like, I totally forgot that Amir Khan fought this year. So, and the fact that he quit on the stool, you got that. So I'm gonna have to.
You're right, because only like 150 people watched that fight because they actually put that fight on pay-per-view.
Oh man!
I was shocked. That's when I found out that ESPN Plus doesn't mean you get to watch like every fight. Yeah. I'm like, wait, I got ESPN Plus, and you want me to buy this?
That was outrageous.
To see Crawford massacre a dude who everyone's knocked out already? Yeah. Hard pass. All right, so for Glass Chin of the Year award, I nominated David Price, Amir Khan, but my winner is Arthur Spilker So, we're gonna see what we gonna do here.
I'm going to Mid-Con.
Mid-Con.
He got shook, man.
He got it for the last 3 years.
Yeah,
Man,
I just want
We
to.
gotta keep the tradition alive. Keep the tradition alive.
he
you know
is
what
a
I'm saying?
winner. 3 years and running. Back to back.
Oh man. Nah, look.
Keep up the good work.
And for the people at home realizing this, I don't want it to change. But you see that Trill and G are teaming up against me on every category. All right. So the next category is most hype fighter of the year. This most hype fighter of the year doesn't mean we think the fighter isn't talented. It doesn't mean we don't think this fighter would win in the big fights. It just means we feel like the hype that this fighter is getting, they haven't earned yet. It means they reached a status in the game that they haven't proven. I mean, when you're saying people can do certain things and you're placing people in categories in which they haven't shown they belong in, they're overhyped. And so what we're talking about right now is the most hyped fighter of this year. And who do you have, G?
Oh, so my runner-up or honorable mention is F.A. Ajagba.
He did that.
Yo,
F.A.'s a
listen.
prospect.
That's real.
But
Feels like y'all feeling.
PBC is literally like investing in this kid.
Yo, but
And
he's
I don't
a
know
prospect. You're saying he ain't even a prospect. That's what you're saying. Yo, you're saying he ain't even a prospect.
He might be a prospect, but he's still hyped up. Because they're literally trying to paint a picture like he's that dude in the heavyweight division. He's getting all this airtime. Don't know why. Doesn't make sense. But that's my honorable mention.
Right.
But my most hyped fighter is actually Billy Joe Saunders. I think the zone.
These are all personal.
No, that's not bad. Billy Joe Saunders not bad.
That's not bad.
No, Billy Joe Saunders. Yes, he's a champion. However, in comparison to
Undefeated.
the other champs in his division, he's gonna get washed. So. And not to mention earlier that fight that I was telling you about where he literally got lucky and got the knockout at the end because he was clearly losing. He was getting like destroyed on the undercard of the KSI Logan Paul, and especially during that fight when you think about it, like all these new faces to boxing and this is what you demonstrated, that wasn't a good look. So I feel like they were trying to sell him as like the man. And he's clearly not the man, so I feel like it's Billy Joe Saunders.
So you got Trills. Who you got?
Lomachenko. How are you pound for pound number one? Every time I'm turning on the TV, everywhere I go, everyone's saying
He
that.
undefeated.
Yeah. and they say, listen, they're hyping him up so much, they're taking away his losses. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, they
they're erasing his record. That's how much they're hyping him up so much. They're sitting there saying he can beat people and he don't even got 20 fights yet. And listen, this guy, and he ain't fight nobody. How you number one? You ain't fight nobody. You ain't undisputed and nothing. You like how you? I don't man. Listen, Lomachenko.
They're making a sequel to Coming to America, and
This
I hope
is
there's a boxing scene in that movie too. Where they're like, Lomachenko never lost. Never lost.
For real, Lomachenko is the way they hyping him up. It's like the movie with Damon
Wayans?
Damon Wayans. You know what I'm saying? What's the name of that movie?
Great White Hype.
Yeah, that's exactly what he
That's
is.
why I want G to see that movie, and I don't mean to interrupt with your rant, but see, James the Reaper Roper in that fight was taking these fights, and the fights weren't generating the money they were supposed to. So he walked in to get his money from Samuel L. Jackson, who Don King, and he was like, $10 million. He was happy. And he's like, I love you. And James B. Rowe was like, I love you. He was like, I love you. And James B. Rowe was like, I love you. He was like, I love you. That's the third I love you. Am I getting effed again? And then he was like, you know what? Give him his money. Take all my watches. Sell this house. He had to take a loss. And I was like, G needs a seat. This is Deontay Wilder right here. Nah, but I'm watching.
Yeah, but that's how I see Lomachenko. Like they hyping him up so much, and he hasn't fought nobody that went in there that I said that, hey, you know what, he might lose this fight, or this is gonna be a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention, when he did get in there with a tough fight, he gets dropped by people we don't even consider punchers. So I'm gonna have to go Lomachenko for that one, man. He's the most hype job, and every time top ranked fighters, man, they get the biggest hype ever.
So I have Terrence Crawford, Vasily Lomachenko, and Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is on my list because they turned him into, Sonny Liston, Jack
Rocky.
Dempsey. They turned him into Joe Lewis. They made him
became the
Joe
Mexican
Frazier.
Rocky.
They turned this man into everything under the sun. After one fight in the punch from the gods. So I have Andy Ruiz on the list. I have Terrence Crawford, and I have Vasily Lomachenko. But I don't need to go in because I agree with Trill. I picked Vasily Lomachenko. So Vasily Lomachenko is the man. The most hyped fighter of the year. Mismatch of the year. This is a fight that as soon as it was announced, it was being promoted as an even fight and one that everyone was going to enjoy, a competitive night of boxing. But we knew from the moment it was announced, it was a mismatch. Trill, what you got as mismatch of the year?
I got Devin Haney versus the kid Moran. The kid that he knocked out with that over right
Oh,
hand.
yeah, okay.
I guess they were saying that, Devin Haney, he didn't earn his belt in the ring. So this is going to be the fight against a tough guy where he can really prove if he deserved to have that strap over his, it wasn't that. It was total mismatch. Devin Haney went in and did everything he wanted to do. And he threw a punch that a guy from 8 miles away could have seen coming and laid this kid out with a ferocious knockout. They actually have it as one of the top knockouts of 2019, the way he devastated and voted this kid over like a lawn chair. You know what I'm saying? But I have that. That was a total mismatch. You know what I'm saying?
G?
All right, so I got 2 runner-ups. I'll say the first one was Caleb Plant versus Mike Running Back Lee. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they put Mike Lee in that ring with Caleb Plant. That was despicable.
He went to Notre Dame.
Yeah, exactly. Running Back Lee got destroyed. And then, and this is funny because I know we made a prediction and I predicted this fighter to win, but I knew what time it was. Was David Benavidez versus Anthony Durrell. Yeah, I said Durrell was going to win, but I knew deep down inside he's probably food for Benavidez, and I was unfortunately right. And so, but my mismatch of the year is actually Spence versus Mikey Garcia. Mikey was just too small for Spence, so there was just no way. Like, the only thing that I give Mikey credit for was Mikey didn't get knocked out. But other than that, it was a clear one-sided fight. So, Spence versus Garcia, and not to mention it was a huge fighter this year, and Mikey, there was just nothing Mikey could do at that size.
Those guys,
I only have
was in the fight. They didn't get knocked out.
I only have one fight for mismatch of the year, and Trill said it. My issue with 2 of the fights on your list are that one, Anthony Durrell was winning a lot of those rounds. He didn't get outclassed. That wasn't a mismatch. So Anthony Durrell showed his class in that fight. It took rounds, and he lost rounds. And Anthony Durrell wasn't a mismatch. He just got beat. He just got worn down. And Mikey Garcia, it wasn't a mismatch. Mikey Garcia, he was in it. He didn't get hurt. He got hurt, but he didn't get dropped. He fought back.
Any rounds.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but he was in the fight. It wasn't a mismatch. Like,
even with the Andy Lee joint,
he belonged in the
Mike
ring.
Lee was in there.
He belonged in
Even
the
though
Mike Lee was in there?
He didn't get knocked out. He fought every round.
No,
He did get. He got
my
knocked out.
mismatch of the year is actually Caleb Plant versus Mike Lee.
Yeah, he got knocked out.
He got destroyed.
It was bad, bro.
Yeah, he got destroyed. I mean, he didn't get knocked out in like the first round.
Like,
he was outclassed. Like,
he was outclassed.
He got dropped
Yo,
a lot.
You know how he got knocked out?
Yeah,
Caleb Plant moved forward with a hook. That's crazy. You should be able to see that coming and still got dropped.
Yeah. So I mean, I agree with your fight's a good one. I didn't think of it, but that was a mismatch. But the reason why I have Mike Lee and Caleb Plant was because in the build-up, there was so much trash talking, and the way Mike Lee was acting in the ring, like it was just like
He didn't deserve like how he is. I just didn't give like I expected a guy like that, like Mike Lee, to get knocked out in the first round. The fact that he was still lingering.
He basically did. He just had enough heart to keep it up. He just had. You know what it was? Mike Lee talked so much trash. His pride tried to like, I'm not gonna. Cause you gotta remember, Mike Lee was undefeated too.
Yeah,
so, undefeated guys, they fight hard because in his mind he hasn't learned how to lose yet. But
Man, listen here, man. Seth Mitchell was undefeated at one point, so who cares? You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
hey, listen, y'all got it. Y'all got it.
well, he actually picked a different fight. He picked
Spence
and Mikey.
But
I didn't have
that'd
them.
be
I
my
didn't have
second
them.
one.
Yeah,
It's
but I
over.
didn't have that plan.
So we're gonna go with Mike Lee and Caleb Plant versus Mike Lee. All right. Most boring fight of the year.
Yo, mine is
Shore
so
versus
disrespectful.
Price.
I knew this dude was gonna do that.
Shore versus Price.
You know what? You just as disrespectful as me. You know why? You know what I put? I put most featherweight fights.
The bias has come out. It looks like I know where we're going with this. Because the most boring fight of the year to me was Leo Santa Cruz versus Miguel Flores.
I agree.
Oh, there it is.
Yo, Trill's like, I hate y'all.
I like that fight.
It wasn't Leo's best.
It wasn't Leo's, but it wasn't Leo's fault.
It wasn't his best fight. Yeah,
But it
he wasn't.
his
It wasn't the
fault.
same Leo you're accustomed to seeing, which made it. You know what I mean? But so it was just kind of like it just wasn't the best fight.
Yeah, he couldn't.
It
go
wasn't
100
even a
punches
1,000 punch around Leo. You know, it was like.
Yeah.
Then what are you here for? Like if you're not that guy, then why? Yeah. So that's why I picked that one.
I think we got two more things, right?
We got like 3 or 4 more.
Most feared and
No, we have,
most improved.
No, we have more.
We have more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who we did?
We have
prospect who's gonna lose.
No, undefeated fighter most likely to lose in 2020. Trill, who you?
Okay. I know there's a lot of fights that's supposed to be made, but one fight that's supposed to definitely be made is Plant and Benavidez. And I got Benavidez winning that fight.
Well, they
But-
both undefeated.
Yeah, they both. Yeah, that's why I got David winning that fight. So I got Caleb Plant losing. And not only that, they talking about Josh Taylor talking about fighting Mikey. And just thinking, like, I'd seen Josh Taylor barely beat Barraza, and I don't think he can beat Mikey.
Ooh, you just disclosed why Mikey Garcia probably is fighting on his own in his next fight because he wants to get Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So that's what I was thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a cross between these two guys. I know that these are the two fights that this for sure going to be made in 2020. So and I got these two guys losing against their opposition. So
Not
I'm up in
bad,
the
not bad.
See, I was considering more of the big boys, so I was gonna say Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm pretty sure Kate is gonna say Wilder, but I'm gonna go with Tyson Fury on this one. I believe Wilder's gonna get the edge on this fight and knock him out. So I think Fury's gonna be.
I'll never lose to a skinny little hoop man.
His O's gonna go.
So you got Tyson Fury, that's it. Dude, you are smoking. All right. So I have Earl Spence because if he comes back and he has a fight after the accident and it's too soon, I think he stands a chance of losing. I have Terrence Crawford because if he actually finally does take a real fight, he runs the risk of actually losing.
It's duck season, bro. He
Yeah,
ain't
for
going
real. Not 2020.
He just threw it.
And I have Deontay Wilder, not to be disrespectful, but for the same reason you have Tyson Fury on your list, I think that Tyson Fury is going to beat Deontay Wilder. So, I mean, once again, for example, Trill has Benavidez. He has Caleb Plant because he thinks Benavidez is going to beat Caleb Plant. I actually think Caleb Plant will beat Benavidez. So, This is one of those things where we're making our prediction.
Yeah, facts.
So this may be the agree to disagree
Facts,
segment
because
if we
I
can't
want
agree.
Caleb Plant to win, but
I
I
think-
think Benavidez is gonna beat him.
He's just
So-
two. I think
So
two
then you
big.
gonna go Caleb?
I
Both of you?
think
I
Caleb
don't want.
got the skills.
I'm
I
gonna
just
stick.
think
I'm gonna
Davis
stick with
too
my
big.
Wilder and Fury fight.
Oh,
so
So you gonna stay with Fury?
yeah, I'm gonna stick with Fury because
I
I'm
can't
more
get
confident.
I can't get you to join me on Earl Spence.
Yeah, you know what? That's even safer.
I got Earl for the next 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you stay in
wild.
the house.
Nah,
If
we,
you say that, yo,
we're not,
he's actually right.
we're not saying that they will lose. Was like likely to lose.
Yeah, he's most likely to lose
just because
of
of,
it.
I'm not saying Earl that
And
beat
inactivity.
I'm not,
And
I'm not,
got some good business.
I'm not saying the one who beat Sean Porter. I'm saying the Earl Spence who was in the car accident.
Hopefully they don't.
And
put
he's
him
not.
in
And he's
because
talking.
the other
And
two
he's,
fights are it's like our preferences kind of, but like this one's most likely like the inactivity, the car
But
accident,
most
the therapy,
likely,
the physical
yo,
therapy
there's
coming back.
Al, and most likely Al and everybody else is gonna be like, "Hey, let's take
Yeah,
it
don't-
light."
yeah, don't
I
be-
hope,
man.
but this dude's
Take a
coming on
tune
camera
up.
talking
Yeah.
about I want Danny, I want Terrence, I want and I'm being real. If he fought Terrence
Anybody.
before the accident, I would take Earl Spence.
Yeah.
But now if he fought TC, I'd be so worried. I'd be so worried. Like
And it's not even cool to
listen,
give
I
Terrence
have
that
no
type
worry.
of victory.
Anybody right now to fight Earl right now.
exactly why I'm saying Earl.
Hey, that's
If
why
he
I say
fights in
hopefully
2020.
somebody keep his ass.
If they say Adrian Granados versus Earl Spence in 2020, I'm still worried.
Yeah.
I don't think he
And
should
I
fight in
don't want-
2020.
I want at least if they do that fight in November of 2020.
You know what they should do? Earl
That
should
better be December 2020. Give him as much rest as possible.
Earl should just let the belt go and take 2020 off.
Yeah.
So
Facts, I actually agree with that.
if Earl fights in 2020, like to me, like
It's gonna be problems.
yeah, I actually picked Deontay Wilder only because I think Tyson Fury is going to beat him, right? And you picked Tyson Fury only because you think Wilder's going to beat him. But I'm also not sure that Earl Spence is going to fight in 2020. But if he fights anyone in 2020, I'm scared for him.
Yeah,
that's why I
that's our
on the
problem.
list.
Yeah.
So we're not going to agree on Wilder Fury because that's not going to happen. But I'm willing to move to Earl Spence.
Yup, I'm willing to move it. That you got my vote, so boom, Earl
All
it
right.
is.
Earl Spence. Sorry, Trill. You know we don't want Earl to lose.
Trill said 3 years in the house.
He was in the house,
Earl for the next 3 years.
in the crib. You know what I'm saying? Keep him in the
Keep him out of
crib.
the house in all high performance vehicles.
All the words.
Most feared fighter of the year.
We might all agree, actually.
Go ahead, G. Who you got?
All right. The only one name came up for me. Demetrius Boo Boo Andre the Andrade. You know what I'm saying? The reason why nobody wants to fight this brother at all. You know what I'm saying? He's been begging for fights since like I could remember. And people come up with excuses like, oh, you on the zone. Oh, this, oh, that.
Hey,
You know what I
take your
mean?
nasal spray.
Yeah, so to me, he's the most feared because nobody even entertains his name. I think just recently, Charlo was like, I'll fight him. And it's like, I need to see that, So for 2019, he's been the most ducked.
Not bad for you, G. Who you
Thank you. I
got?
appreciate you. Bless you.
Just to say what you said about Boo Boo, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I picked and I circled it. None. No one. These guys is warriors. None of these guys are afraid to fight nobody.
I respect the truth.
Right? You know what I'm saying? That's why I see it. And the reason why I say about with Boo Boo too, I don't think people are afraid of Boo Boo. They just feel like there's no reward. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you fight Boo Boo, right, he's going to make it an ugly fight, and then you're not going to get paid the money that you would get to pay, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what I'm saying, there's a chance that you're going to lose. The fact of the matter, I don't want to keep saying that these guys are scared. I just think in certain situations, none of these guys to me, is the boogeyman. No, none of these guys that I look at and I be like, this guy cannot be beat. You know what I'm saying? If I had to pick one, I'll have to say, off the Benavidez.
Okay, so I'll say this. there is a difference between feared and scared.
Exactly.
So
I was
like
about to say
most
that.
feared is like the guy who like most people like, oh man, like he's the toughest fight.
Oh, yeah,
like,
that- that author better be there.
scared means like they're afraid to like fight him. Like
Because I liked what you said about Boo Boo. It's like it's all risk, no reward.
Well, yeah.
But that still justifies why he's the most feared. Because people are like, if I take this fight, there's a possibility I'll lose, and I don't really get much from it. You see what I'm saying?
Boo Boo's cute.
Yeah. But if I had to pick one, I'll say that guy, Arthur Beterbiev, he looks like he eats raw meat.
So here's what
Arthur got 2 belts,
I
man.
only
People want
got
to fight him.
I only got
Beterbiev's
one.
got 2 belts too?
I only got one name
He's
on my
unified.
list. And if you guys don't agree with this name, then you two are gonna be the only way that we break this tie. Dillian the Body Snatcher White. That's the only guy that I got.
Hold on, what?
Dillian White for most
The
feared?
most feared?
Yeah.
Nah,
Most feared by the WBC. And by Deontay Wilder. That's who I got. Dillian White. They say, hey, dog, we can agree to disagree. I'm not budging.
Damn, I ain't budging on mine either, man.
I don't know.
Yo, Boo Boo need to get his respect, man. You know what I mean?
We agree to disagree. I said, I freshly knew my first one was none. I think
We
these
have,
guys
we don't
won.
have.
Hold on, yo, Trill, you not gonna film me on Demetrius on this one?
Dillian White's more feared
All right,
than
well,
him.
shoot.
Come
If
on,
I had
man.
to pick one, because nobody want to give Boo Boo a shot.
Damn.
And
Respect, man.
And they just offered Charlo $6 to $7 million for the
Thank
fight, so they're waiting for an answer right now.
Exactly.
But Eddie's saying that he's
Bingo.
willing to give 6 to 7. You know what I'm
Sold.
saying? So
To Andre.
I'm not surprised you two agree again.
The last one right here, this is going to be a doozy.
No, we have 2 more.
We got 2 more? Okay.
Most improved, and what's the other one?
Most talented.
Oh, yeah, most talented.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
boy.
So most improved fighter of the year. G, who you got?
Yo, man, listen, y'all gonna hate me because I'm about to pull a Trill. So I'll wait for y'all's, but I'm gonna say my 2, and then I'll probably, based upon what you guys say.
You agree with Trill? All right, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I have 2 people. I have, and this is interchangeable. It could be either Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder. And the reason why is because Deontay Wilder's performance against Ortiz too, like he showed a lot of improvements in
By losing
AJ.
every round.
Yo, listen. See? But now in AJ versus Ruiz too, he also showed a lot of improvements also.
By winning every round.
So now both of them have made impactful adjustments towards their career, and so I have it a toss up. So I'm interchangeable.
All right. Well, my honorable mention is Danny Garcia. Because Danny Garcia finally looked in the mirror and he realized that he is never going to get a decision. So ever since these decisions, he's been knocking everybody out.
That's the truest words ever spoken.
You know what I mean? So, but if I had to go for the pick one, I have to say AJ. That was very impressive against Ruiz. That was, you know what I'm saying, after losing and reinventing his whole style, and he looked like a total different. So most improved, I had to go to AJ.
All right.
Went from the
So
lumberjack style to looking
I
like a pure
had
boxer.
3 fighters. I had Sean Porter,
Oh yeah, Sean looked.
and I had Garcia.
But he lost.
But I had Ryan Garcia. Because Ryan Garcia realized sometimes you got to throw skill out the window and just knock a mother effer out. Like that's what he had to do. So I got Ryan Garcia. But my most improved fighter of the year is Anthony Joshua. Because not only did he look better as a technical boxer, but you can see it in his physique. You can see it that he trained and he put in work for what he did. And I know you said Deontay Wilder, but I saw the same Deontay Wilder that I've seen since the Stavern fight, which is you got to be perfect for 12 rounds. I only got to be perfect for 2 seconds, Deontay Wilder, and it worked again. So I really don't know how you can watch that Ortiz fight and say there was improvement. But I can actually watch the Anthony Joshua fight and seeing his physique, seeing his jab, seeing his movement, seeing his demeanor that he was an improved fighter. So that's why I gave it to Anthony Joshua.
And we got one more.
This is it.
Most talented fighter
of the
You
year.
already know this is a no-brainer.
Go ahead, Trill. Then who is it then?
Devin Haney. The most talented fighter, the most talented, got all the talent and all the tools and all that. The most talented fighter of the year has to be the young man.
Hold on.
He stopped
Before
from
I
prospect
agree.
to champion.
Can you just give us a breakdown of what you mean by most talented fighter of the year?
Like he said, skill for skill. Like this
Skill
is the
for
most
skill.
talented fighter.
All right.
You got me?
Yo, I might. I didn't see what you said because I got a different name, but I might jump ship.
I have three names.
Okay.
I have Devin Haney, Anthony Joshua, and Canelo Alvarez. And for me, the most talented fighter is Canelo Alvarez.
That's what I got. I got Canelo.
I mean,
also.
Val, we already gave him fighter of the year.
He's also the most talented.
He's a pressure fighter. Yeah. He has great defense and he's a great counter fighter.
But I do have Devin Haney, so I see where you're going.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I'm like, I was willing
willing
to jump ship.
Without a doubt, he has all the tools.
Yeah.
But like the most talented fighter to me, Canelo Alvarez.
Of course, it's Canelo.
Like,
I was talking about,
I know you're trying to spread the wealth.
Nah, but yo, man, it was a good pick.
Nah, I get what you're doing. You were trying to share the wealth. But let's be real.
Yeah.
Canelo Alvarez is the most talented fighter.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to go that way.
So, Canelo Alvarez.
Hey, at least you ain't like one of these Lomachenko fanatics. Loma. Like, what?
You don't have to sell Trill on his guy. Oh, fine. I was going to argue, but fine. All right, so just for a quick wrap up. Trainer of the year, we have Eddie Reynoso. We agreed on that. Promoter of the year, Eddie Hearn. Prospect of the year, G and Trill agreed, Richard Hickerson. Although, really G just agreeing with Trill. All right, round of the year, unanimously, Joshua versus Ruiz, round 3. KO of the year, Ryan Garcia knocking out Duno in round 1. That was G just agreeing with me. You know what I'm saying? And the comeback of the year, we all agree, Sergey Kovalev stopping Anthony Yarde in the 11th round. Upset of the year, we all agree, Andy Ruiz TKO victory over Anthony Joshua. Event of the year, Trill and G agree that it's Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua 2. I think it's KSI versus Logan Paul, but I like to call him Paul Logan. All right, fight of the year, I always mess this dude's name up. Inu versus Donaire. That's Trill and G picking at his fight of the year. Ducker of the year, Terrence Crawford. I think
Anonymous.
Well, I had him as my honorary, but then I jumped ship.
But it's unanimous because you agreed. Yeah,
but I had former initially.
G agreed because he just he knew it was either that or Wilder was going to get that nod.
Y'all are stupid.
G said, I can't let Wilder get this category. Ned, the cameraman, we needed you. If you was here, Ned,
everything negative would have been Wilder.
Wilder would have been Ducker of the year, Ned. I hope you enjoyed your trip. All right. Ned would have counted as a vote and a half. Not
half a vote.
Tie breaker. Break it up. All right. Best trash talker, we all agree, of the year, Tony Harrison. Ring entrance of the year, Anthony Joshua for his entrance in Saudi Arabia when he came out for the rematch. And we all agree that was a great ring entrance. Although I'm always on the edge of my seat to see what the hell is Deontay Wilder about to do when he comes out. Glass Chin of the Year award. I wanted it to go to Arthur Spilker, but I was overruled by G and Trill again. Mayor Khan. Most hype fighter of the year, Vasily Lomachenko.
Unanimous.
I think that was unanimous, yeah. Mismatch of the year, Caleb Plant versus Mike Lee. Trill was overruled by me and G. Who'd you have, Trill, in mismatch of the year? Do you remember?
Mismatch of the year.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
And so most boring fight of the year, Leo Santa Cruz versus Miguel Flores. Trill was overruled by me.
I wasn't on board for this.
Trill had Derek Chisora versus David Price. All right. Undefeated fighter most likely to lose in 2020. G and I, we say Earl Spence. Trill said Spence should stay in the house for 3 years. All right. Most feared fighter of the year. Demetrius Andrade. That's due to G and Trill's vote, I vote for Dillian, the body snatcher White. Deontay Wilder ain't going to fight him. And the most improved fighter of the year, Anthony Joshua, basically unanimous. And most talented fighter of the year, Canelo Alvarez, basically unanimous. Trill picked Devin Haney, but it didn't take much for Trill to just say, you know what, I picked Canelo. I picked Canelo.
One of my favorite fighters.
So that's the Boxing Bros Award.
Shout outs to Tevin Farmer. He didn't make none of these lists, but yo, he's been staying undefeated. He's been fighting a lot.
like
you know what I'm saying? But no, I'm saying this year he's been undefeated. He ended up getting the belt.
He's the zone's Terrence Crawford.
But shout outs to Tevin Farmer.
No, he's not.
He got a fight with Joseph Diaz.
He's been
coming
chasing Tank
Yeah.
for years, bro. You can pull the footage up.
Yeah, they don't want. They don't. They ran.
He's been chasing Tank for years,
And they don't want that fight.
Yeah,
now it got to a point where he was like, he don't want
right.
that no more.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Tevin. But yeah, man, this is
And I just want to say shout out to Baru Jack. Shout out to Jean Pascal, two old dudes who fought their life out last night. All right, so that's it for me. I ain't got nothing else to say.
Yeah, man. Please like and subscribe.
We gave y'all over 2 hours. You know?
Thank you for tuning in
Good
to the
episode.
Boxing Bros podcast. You can check this out on all major streaming services. I bet you all checking it out now. You know what I'm saying? And check out our show on YouTube. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's the Boxing Bros.
Peace.